Giordano. Okay, it is downtime. Welcome in, everyone. Big stuff happening this morning with the gag order. Best analysis and watching it myself that I could see is how is it that Trump cannot talk about Cohen and yet Cohen can be all over the place? Stormy Daniels has a documentary that she's making around all this.
Ooh, a documentary.
Yeah. Why would Trump not be able to call that out? You know, I understand in something like this with the average juror or something like that, you don't want that sort of attention that comes out of this. But with these other players, this is just unfair. 30-day punishment possible. When these judges say contempt order, usually they just throw it around. In the one situation I had, the guy told me, I think you were almost going to be held in contempt. And what are you going to do about it? Sue him, come back to that. You still have to go off to a place you'd rather not go off to. And Trump is facing 30 days with that. All right. In addition to that, Chris Tremaglia, great guy that we helped launch. You've heard him on the station before, writes for the Washington Examiner. He has a lot more on the situation over in North Penn with the student who, based upon news reports, clearly could have been charged with attempted murder for what happened there versus aggravated assault. I'll tell you a couple of those, but Dan has gotten the head of the protest today. Parents protested in front of the school board meeting, and they may be meeting with the superintendent on this. The superintendent and others have to come clean on this. And is it that they're, and this is stuff that I've dealt with. My master's is in special ed. Is it that it's the transgender issue here? And I'll tell you why. The Washington Examiner reporting that there is a transgender issue. Is it the transgender issue / somehow or another connected with special needs or both? The police and others just sort of come forward when asked the question, is this a male or female? We're not going to tell you. All right, when you won't tell us, then we know what that means. So we'll talk to the head of the protest of the parents this morning. I didn't see how many were out there over at North Penn. And again, I think they're meeting as we speak or something with the superintendent. And we'll try to give you more information. Chris Tremaglia, who also will be on the show today at 1 o'clock, he recounts what we played you of the, I think, a 12-year-old girl seeing all the blood, seeing the attack, saying they told the counselors about it in advance. Law enforcement officials and school administrators identified the victim as a girl, but refused to specify whether the attacker was male or female. The assailant was later identified as a transgendered student by parents and other adults. Additionally, a photo, allegedly, he says, surfaced from previous yearbooks showing the student as a boy before transitioning to a girl. The attacker was charged as a juvenile. The new thing here, though, that Chris Tremaglia reports at the Washington Examiner, transgendered student accused of beating preteen student attacked sheriff deputies at the hearing. When a judge ordered that the juvenile be detained at the youth center, Upper Gwinnett Police Chief David Duffy told Chris in a response to his email inquiry on Monday night, upon hearing this, the juvenile grabbed a nearby water jug, swung it at sheriff deputies, and resisted being handcuffed. Yeah, you can say it's only a water jug. Yeah, I get all that. But this is indicative of a pattern. Here is a little bit from the report this morning of the parents at the protest. And again, the head of the parental group today, the lead, will be with us at 2 o'clock. Here's how it sounded.
This protest started not too long ago. We're told just yesterday students were red in solidarity with the student injured. Today, parents say it's their turn and they are standing together in solidarity with that student as well. You can take a look behind me. We are outside of the North Penn School District headquarters building where parents have gathered around this corner. They have signs that say our children deserve better. They say they are hoping to get more transparency about what happened and what happened next. Now, here's a little background. We know Superintendent Todd Bauer said a seventh grader was attacked during lunch last Wednesday at Pembroke Middle School student. According to other students, that student was hit with a Stanley Cup. The injured student was taken to the hospital and is currently recovering at home. Meanwhile, officials say the 13-year-old reportedly responsible is facing aggravated assault and other charges. The incident startled parents who say their children called them in tears the day it happened. We spoke with one of the parents leading today's efforts. She says this is about safety and getting as much information as possible from the district.
Me and two other mothers, we met at the board meeting. I had never met them before. So we wanted to just take action somehow. We knew that we couldn't sit quiet. This needed attention. We couldn't trust them to just do the investigation and just carry it out the right way. So we came together and we said we're going to do a protest.
All right. So, Dan, during that, and I was thinking, I'm waiting for the line here. Is anybody going to ask about the transgender part of this, which seems to be evidently
irrelevant,
pretty clear? All right. We get the assault. We get the Stanley. We know more about the Stanley Cup, those stupid Stanley Cups. Call it the Stanley Cup. They're very popular, Stanley Cup.
Eliminate Target,
Than we do about the nexus with the transgender part here. Okay, one other thing, and I'm going to be very, very careful about this because it does rile me up. This is a Representative Carl, Jerry Carl, representative from Alabama, Republican, apparently a cohort of Mike Johnson. He gave an interview about this, what he sees as attacks on Mike Johnson. He said, I'll tell you something, Mike Johnson may not be perfect. I think the only person in recorded history was Jesus Christ, and they crucified him for it. But Mike Johnson is far from perfect. He's a good man. He's a good-hearted man. He truly cares about and is passionate about this country. He's smart enough to understand he can't win them all, but he's smart enough to know you have to keep the ball moving forward. History will tell on the Ukraine vote, which this guy also voted for. Here's the part that bothered me, though. He said that, but if people continue to turn on Mike Johnson, meaning elected officials, you're going to see the Christian community come after him. You know what, buddy? That's it. That's the line now. So if you self-identify as Christian, how do you feel? And if you don't, how do you feel? Ordinarily, I'm defensive. And when I put this up about Johnson over the weekend, I'm sure, he prayed, his heart is in the right, all that stuff. But I'm kind of tired of hearing that we can't be critical of this. So Christians are going to come after people, says Representative Carl. Evangelicals, Christians, if they keep on pushing back on Mike Johnson. I think Johnson's got a hell of a lot to account for. I thought that yesterday. I thought that Sunday. I thought it Saturday. I thought it all the way back last week. But even more, this threat by this guy that the Christian base, they're just going to be with Johnson because he's a devout Christian. Well, I have no doubts that he is. But we analyze things here based upon what's the right course of action for the country? And just because this guy's a Christian and Johnson's a Christian, I don't necessarily agree that that's the right course of action for the country. Based on what? Because they say so we can't be critical of Johnson? Now, I have not heard of this guy before, but it's a fairly long interview. And in it, he goes off on this notion of Christians are going to come after you if you don't let up on Mike Johnson. President Trump says today that Johnson's a good man, doesn't say anything about the issue. and says we have a big election coming up. So I take the hint. I'm in agreement with President Trump there. We're not talking about getting rid of Johnson now. That would be a debacle bleeding into the election in various ways. But as far as being brushed, this is like a brushback pitch. You don't want these Christians coming after you. Whatever Mike Johnson does, that's okay. I don't think so. I don't think that's the way we ought to go. All right, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. I'll give you the side question here in a moment. Bill O'Reilly coming up, a lot of things to talk with him about. He is in New York, of course. The Columbia story, people putting up on Twitter, and I'll read you coming up, a great post by Mike Rowe about people going to colleges like this, their entitlement, their arrogance, versus maybe it's better you not want to send your kid to these, quote, prestigious colleges. Now, I've said many times, when I went DJ or Luke go to Harvard, no, not really. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing, still has cachet, still helps you in certain professions. But on Twitter, somebody that likes SEC football says, I don't see any team that's ever won an SEC championship having protesters that are identifying with Hamas. Think about that. I don't think you're going to see that either. A mass of protesters in Georgia or Alabama.
Clemson
That are engaged in this.
Clemson SEC? I don't even know.
And I think they're ACC, but I'm not sure if
I think the only team down south that's not SEC.
Yeah, right. But you're not going to see it there. Why is that? Why is it these schools? Now, true, I'm kind of surprised that my alma mater was, they had people there signing on October 7th, those creeps. They were signing off on this letter saying, how dare you push back against the victory of Hamas. Remember that whole thing? The weightlifting club was in their corner. So it is all over the place, except in certain areas like the South. Columbia, it's reached a point where people say, well, is this going to calm down? It's not going to calm down. They've been doing this for months. This is what they want. They want to get their way. They're calling off graduations now because they're afraid they'll disrupt graduations. I don't doubt they will. You got to understand this. It's their fun. It's the juice. They see themselves rather than as punk entitled kids going to a $95,000 a year school as soldiers in a war to present the evil America and evil Israel from having their way. They're not going to give up on this. It's fun for them to do this. It's their being. And if you ever notice, everybody's given a title. The head of communications, this, that, and the other. They all have titles running around with it. So they're not going to stop this. What would make them stop this? I'll play you coming up, too. Did Joe Biden just do a Charlottesville yesterday? Talking about there are good people on both sides. Where are the good people on the Hamas side? We'll play you what he said coming up and see what you think. All right, here is the side question today. Today, sad for Dan, he doesn't get this. We go through this many times. We're going through yesterday. All right, what's out there be a good side question for today, Tuesday, April 23rd? It's the anniversary of the death. And Dan, he might have been born on the same day he died. I read that in one place.
He actually was. He was, yeah.
That tells you even more greatness.
Born today and died 52 years later.
The great William Shakespeare, Billy Shakespeare, the greatest writer in the history and ever will be. I don't see how you can top him. I'm sure Dan thinks there's a better person that can write puns out there than Shakespeare. Passed away on this day. So Dan says, yeah, these people like you really don't like Shakespeare. You have to pretend that you like Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's virtue signaling.
Virtue signaling. Yeah. You value Shakespeare. So hit us with somebody or something that people only pretend to like. I'll save my obvious answer, but I thought I had another one that might be a bit creative. Maybe because I don't. If Rose said we're going to a reveal party, I would say, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I have scheduled a lobotomy that day. I'm
The
not
reveal
going.
Well, you got come on. You got to if it's someone in the family though, you got to go and
No,
play along, don't you?
no, I think
And
it's
nobody
crazy.
likes those things. It's a great answer because nobody likes those things, but all the men in the family have to go play along and watch the little firework and see if it's going to be pink or blue. And
Why in the world would you do that?
because
Like,
it's
who cares?
2024. It's a new tradition. I don't know.
I know it's
terrible.
I am trying to strike a blow against it. So is Taylor Swift, and I'm working on that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to take caviar off too. That's my more
That's a good
obvious
one.
Yeah. But reveal parties.
Yeah, no, I think reveal parties are good. And William Shakespeare is one of those guys. I really think people don't actually like him, and they just say they like him. But the one you hear behind us, Bruce Springsteen, and you would think that would be my answer today.
Yes.
But I think people do actually like Bruce Springsteen. It's a little overboard sometimes. So I don't know if it really fits, the whole virtue signaling, but acting like they like it. But I think there's a lot out there, Dom. So I'm curious to hear what the fans have to say or the listeners have to say.
All right, so it could be a person, it could be a thing, could be any of those things that people go, yeah, somebody establishment, you have to like it. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all you have to do is just push pound 1210. I'm not sure if the judge will tell us today if President Trump violated the gag order and what the penalty should be, but it is clearly, given the circumstances, there was a lot of argument about if you repost something. And Trump did a cardinal sin. He reposted, and I'll play it for you, the stylings of Matt Damon. Oh, my God. Why repost that guy about greatness or something? See, that's the sin. I'd put him in there for an hour listening to Taylor Swift because of that. All right. So, let's play that, Dan. Here's what Trump reposted that was an example, and he was told, don't do this. It's Matt Damon talking about Jordan. It's about Michael Jordan or somebody creating Jordan sneakers. And Trump, the Trump people used it in a campaign ad. Trump reposted it saying he's being persecuted. Here's how the ad sounded.
Everyone will be forgotten as soon as our time here is up. Except for you. You're going to be remembered forever because some things are eternal. And your story is going to make us fight and never give up.
All right, so punish him for using Matt Damon. I think that deserves at
good
least
answer.
a slap
And
on
for
the
the
wrist.
side question, nobody actually likes Matt Damon, but for some reason, people act like they do.
Well, that whole Affleck, Damon, that whole group of people. Yeah, exactly.
I realize I never gave mine, Dom, but I do have a couple. So a piece of clothing given by the wife is So if you get a gift from the wife that's a piece of clothing, you kind of have to, act like you like it, even if you might not.
Okay.
And how about you're given a dinner, you go over to a guest's house and they roll out a nice spread, but it's really just not that good. You gotta act like you like that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. For that one. All right. I thought these, yeah, of course you do. I love that, doing what you're doing with that wine there.
Or how about here at work? I'm drinking out of a wine glass. I have to act like I like drinking out of a wine glass because we don't have any real glasses.
Oh, there you go. We're going classy here. All right, 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. We'll get you on board. I'm sure on Twitter you can hit us. You realize you're not like Dan. William Shakespeare is the greatest author in history. There is no doubt. His insight, his puns, just all the quotes. It's not that we were brainwashed. He really is. He is superior. Who's better than Shakespeare?
There's a difference between, we can respect Shakespeare. There's no doubt, and the things that led to it. But in 2024, again, nobody's reading Shakespeare. Nobody's an actual fan of hey, I'm gonna go past watching Breaking Bad and The Sopranos to go read some Shakespeare in the corner. I don't think people are doing that anymore.
Obviously, people don't read plays. Are not meant to be read per se because there's a lot of directions and all. They're meant to be acted.
What, do you have your kids acted out for you?
Yeah, I mean, you have to use your mind that way. It's not like reading a novel or a nonfiction book.
I see a great one. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT. Dom, this could be the winner if someone were to call in. How about newborn baby pictures?
Oh, true.
Oh.
Yes. Everybody's got to say how cute the baby is. It's like, it's pretty hard to tell and randomly, a lot of times you have to see the baby. I mean, it's a Seinfeld. They did 3 or 4 shows around that. 855-839-1210. That's how you'll get on board. Hit us next. Bill O'Reilly at 1230. The leader of the demonstration this morning with the North Penn parents is here at 2. They may have met with the superintendent. They just got to come forward and give the background of the person engaged in this. And I think people will then be asking questions, but at least we know that. All straight ahead. Talk Radio 1210.
So receive me, brother, with you.
Hey, it's Nick Cale. Don't forget to join me on the first Wednesday of the month for the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight, a program where we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. On Wednesday, May 1st, we honor Marine Corps Sergeant Jerry L. Golden III and his exemplary contribution to the veteran community. Presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
I'm a waitress, so I know the difference between regular shoes and Skechers slip-resistant work shoes. Skechers slip-resistant work shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta primavera.
Thanks.
While regular shoes make my job go like this. Here's your pasta prima. Whoa! And that difference is why I wear Skechers slip-resistant work shoes to keep me safe on my feet. Plus, they're easy to clean and have Skechers exclusive air-cooled memory foam for comfort throughout my shift. Get America's #1 selling work shoe at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever work shoes are sold.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
If you put the words retirement savings crisis into Google, you'll get about 81 million references to explore. Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, crazy markets, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. Don't trade the stress of work for a new kind of stress in retirement. Call Jim Cipriotti today, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415 to schedule your complimentary retirement second opinion. Or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs.
My groceries, heating costs.
Medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Yo, Roy is Ford. What? We know your favorite station is 1210 WPHT.
All right, Dom Giordano show. Dan, I had somebody call in. They hung up. Thank God. They were going to offer Hawaii as something people only pretend to. I don't think that's true.
No?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, he might have had a bad experience in Hawaii. Maybe trying to warn others of.
Yeah, it's it's high priced and all, and it takes where we are forever to get there. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I can't see.
I think I see the angle of like, hey, I went to Hawaii, and then other people are like, oh, that's great. Maybe he's like thinking, oh, it's not that great, and that's why people only act to like it when they're told that someone went to Hawaii, possibly.
Yeah, but
Aloha?
I just don't think that's
Marcus
true.
Aurelius on Twitter just wrote The Wire.
Oh, well, that's...
Are we virtue signaling about crime and criminal justice if we say that we like The Wire? Dog?
That is sacrilegious.
Yeah,
now you have people just being contrarians, right? To get clicks or do something. They're nuts. Yeah, they're cranky here.
Maybe I'm a crank, but I'll say one. How about 2001: A Space Odyssey? It's boring as all.
Yeah,
people just say it because they want to say like they're I'm highfalutin. I'm a cinema kind of person. Like
Yeah, I would
It's not
agree
a
with
good
you on that
movie.
one. I would agree. Bruce Springsteen, no doubt. People shouldn't say that. All righty, 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. Wow, this is day 6 of the New York trial with Trump. By the way, they're going all out to cater to the alternates and the jurors, and I understand a bit. One guy had a dental appointment yesterday, though. They were going to excuse a bit early, but they excused an hour and a half earlier so the guy can make the dental appointment. But Trump can't go and be in the Supreme Court for the immunity challenge on Thursday.
A dental appointment?
A dental appointment, and Trump may not be able to go to Barron's high school graduate. Now, if the judge does that, that is going to be ridiculous. This judge.
Well, you're telling me that they couldn't reschedule a dental appointment?
Well, right. They don't. They're catering to them because for some reason they only chose 6 alternate jurors. And there's going to be pressure here, particularly when they get close to the verdict. You can't possibly start the trial all over again because they don't have enough jurors.
But still, it's a dental appointment. Like, what's a mandatory dental appointment that can't be pushed back a couple? Are they scared that he can't reschedule? We got a doctor. We got Dr. Benz.
Well, I'm seeing Dr. Benz today. We're cutting a video. I'll ask him that question.
The guy needs a dentist. We know one.
Yes. I mean, I had Dr. Benz all revved up. We were going to tag him in when Sherelle Parker had that issue so she could make her speech. He would have been over there with his portable dental lab within 5 minutes. Yeah, you'll be able to see that. I guess it'll be up tomorrow. I don't know. These video guys are cranky how long it takes them to turn it around. I know my questions, bang. Dr. Benz has his answer. We'll be ready to go. I'm hoping for chocolate chip cookies he can be eating because he has them in his office, which I commended Dennis for having chocolate chip cookies.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, you can't really do a video about clean teeth when you got chocolate all over them.
Well, clean them afterward. It pleases the patient. All right, let's start with the callers. Bill O'Reilly in the on-deck circle. Let's go to Todd in Germantown. Hello, Todd. Welcome in. Yo, Todd. All right, Todd had a mail-in balloting issue.
Mailed in his call.
By the way, today we have the election. I assume that the polling was light where you were. But if you saw anything, have a story and all, it's kind of spring training. And tomorrow, I think we should get Linda Kearns on to kind of break down how did mail-in balloting, how did the polling, poll watchers out there. This is kind of spring training to see where this is going. I told you yesterday, and I have it, the numbers that Republicans won registrations in all 67 counties, meaning they went up. It's the first time that that's happened. That's a really good sign. There are other good signs out there, but you got to realize Pennsylvania is going to be the dogfight of dogfights. You know me, I still don't trust Michigan. I know because of the war in Gaza, Michigan is in doubt for Biden. I just don't trust it in the end. Any place that could elect Whitmer, I don't trust. So I still think the win's going to come in Pennsylvania, just the way I want it. That's my Hollywood scenario. Josh Shapiro fails. We succeed. I mean, it just is taking out all kinds of things there that Pennsylvania determines the election. All righty, 855-839-1210 at 2 o'clock, too. We're going to talk with the leader of today's protest over there in the William Penn School, in the Penn School, North Penn School District. They're asking for more transparency, more information. We're going to see if they got it or not. And when police are asked, is the suspect a male or a female, and they don't answer, well, what does that tell you? It tells you we have a transgender issue here. That's what it tells me. And allegedly, according to a police report, Washington Examiner saying the student in question, when upset over being kept in juvie, started to lash out at police officers, deputies, with a water jug. So this case, you just can't write this that they think they're going to continue to stonewall in this. All right, Bill O'Reilly next. O'Reilly has a bet, I believe, with Rosie O'Donnell that Trump will outlast all these court cases. We'll see how he's feeling about it. It's only 10 grand
I will
for these
take
two.
a $10,000 bet right now with you, Rosie, to your favorite charity or mine, that Donald Trump will not be convicted of insurrection because he's not charged with it.
Man, that is so
If you want
cheap,
the
Bill.
Only 10 grand. Got to get O'Reilly pumped up here. Maybe 10 million. All right. If you're dealing with inflammation or stiff joints, then Glyco Plus from Rescue Natural Supplements can be your ticket to a healthier spring. Glyco Plus features a unique blend of green lip muscle complex, UC2 collagen, specifically designed to support joint health. Collagen, a vital component of joint cartilage, plays a crucial role in maintaining strength and flexibility. And right now, Rescue Glyco Plus is buy one, get one free for anyone with our exclusive radio code. Just use the code RELIEF to double up your order for free. That's RELIEF. Call them today at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Speak to a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. You can also use the code online when you visit res-q.com, res-q.com. Get back into action with less pain and more comfort. Again, use the code RELIEF. Buy one, get one free on Rescue Glyco Plus.
Weather sponsored by Joseph Anthony, Retreat, Spa, and Salon.
It will be another pleasant day today with plenty of sunshine and warmer with a high 68. Tonight, not as cold, increasing clouds, a shower possible overnight, low 48. And for Wednesday, early morning shower possible, then becoming partly sunny, high 68.
Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon, the secret to spoiling the moms in your life this spring. Now with 3 locations, Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City at the Lowe's Hotel. Visit in person or online at josephanthony.com where gift cards are available. That's josephanthony.com.
Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy is a serious heart condition. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. My HCM impacted how I felt and what I could do. So I asked my cardiologist about treatment advances that gave me new options. That conversation was big for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com to learn more.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra on a tribute to Philly sports fans on the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, Saturday, July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Tom Giordano Show, the one and only Bill O'Reilly in the On Deck Circle. The new book, Confronting the President's No-Spin Assessments from Washington to Biden. I just can't picture that in American history. Going from Washington, I still think the greatest president by a hair over Lincoln, to Biden. Bill O'Reilly joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. This is going to be a fascinating new book out September 10th.
Yeah, you should get an advance, Giordano, probably in mid-June.
Okay.
And
what if I don't like the book, though? What if it's terrible?
Well, then you have to be honest to your audience and tell me it's a piece of garbage. I'm man enough to take it.
Oh, no way. Oh, my God.
As you know, it isn't going to be that. The research in this book is, I think, unprecedented. Most of these pinheads who write books about the presidency, you can't read them. It's impossible. It's 800 pages of dullness. Here, we keep it really lively. Each president is profiled, but it's in a very contained way, whether they hurt or helped their country. That's it. That's it.
Can you ask
and
you
then we zero in.
How many out of the presidents, Bill, if you can tell us, hurt the country? And I like doing that. Make a decision. Hurt or helped. How many hurt?
About 40%. About
Okay.
40% hurt the country. James Buchanan hurt the country the most, the president before Lincoln, and Biden hurt the country the second most. And he's only been in office for 3.5 years. And we explain why, not in an opinion way, but with facts. Facts that you don't know, that nobody knows, because that's what we do. And that's why I'm the most successful nonfiction author of all time, because we dig this stuff up and everybody goes, what? And then, yeah. So anyway, the opening book of the line is George Washington is mad at his mother. George Washington and his mother did not have a good relationship. He didn't even show up to her funeral.
Wow.
And then we explain it, but that's the kind of book it is.
Biden second most. All right, he still got, well, we don't know if he has time or not to knock off Buchanan.
No, he'll never beat Buchanan. Buchanan just totally threw the country into the Civil War because he was a coward. There have been a few presidents who have been cowards, but you just cannot have, at that time in history when the South was rebelling and using violence against the federal government, a guy like Buchanan who just looked away. And that's what happened.
All right, we know about the books and all this. Now, we don't know about the wisdom of your bet, if there is one, with Rosie O'Donnell, only for $10,000, Bill. Cuomo did a good job of bringing it out with the two of you. So what's the bet, at least in theory, that you have around Trump and these indictments?
Well, the case that we were talking about was the conspiracy to deny the election, where Jack Smith is bringing that action in Washington, D.C. And on Thursday, the Supreme Court is going to hear a challenge to the whole case with the Trump people saying, look, he was president. He has an obligation to carry out his duties as he sees fit. So if he wants to tell a nation that he believes the election of 2020 was a fraud, he is perfectly entitled to do that. And you cannot prosecute him for it. Rosie O'Donnell, with all due respect, there's no blanket clue. All right. She got on and started ranting and raving how he wanted it, how he set up the riot on January 6th. And there's no evidence to back that up at all. Maybe there will be, but that was the $10,000 bet. He's not going to be convicted of wanting a riot at January 6th. Now, Cuomo stepped in to save her by saying, well, he's not even charged with that, which Miss O'Donnell didn't even know. So there was a little sleight of hand by your humble correspondent O'Reilly, because I, quickly ascertained that Rosie had no idea what this case was all about. And I wanted the $10,000 to give to big brothers and big sisters of Long Island. So anyway, I'm not going to force her to pay up, but, that was a pretty amusing thing.
It was a good moment. What are you saying about what's going on at Columbia? It's not really newsworthy. Is the intensity of it, how far this is going, the weakness of it? I'm asking you, Bill, is there anything new here? It's leading the news in a lot of ways. To me, it's more of the same, but do you see anything different here?
It's different in the sense that it's not an organic protest like Vietnam was. See, in Vietnam, there were absolute grievances about how that war was conducted, and getting back to confronting the presidents, we lay that right on the lap of Lyndon Johnson. Oh, what a colossal blunder that was. And he knew it, and he didn't care. And so people were rightfully indignant and outraged about the Vietnam War. This one is totally contrived by the far left. George Soros people, they have a database of sympathizers on college campuses, including a big one at the University of Pennsylvania. And they can mobilize people to come out and demonstrate, disrupt. And the reason they do it is far left hates the United States, thinks it's a racist country that targets blacks and other minorities for oppression. And they think that Israel is that way too. That's why we're allies, USA and Israel. We're both oppressive nations. So we have to get out and say, I am Hamas. Well, skip the Hamas, just say, I am a Nazi. Because the Nazi party and Hamas are exactly the same. They want to kill Jews. That's it. So that's what is driving this, and that's new, that the far left gets onto a pattern of disruption by using Israel-Gaza, just as they did when they used George Floyd, Antifa, to burn down all these buildings and hurt individuals after Floyd's death. It's the same thing. Now they just shifted it over to Israel-Gaza.
I really like that, Bill. I hope you talk about that or write about that. The difference between that and Vietnam, whatever the far left and the excesses in Chicago and all, That was grassroots by and large. The civil rights movement was grassroots by and large. These are not.
No, and I will. That's a good suggestion, Dom. I'll probably do my Sunday column on that. And because it's personal to me, I was in college at the time, and a bunch of guys at my Levittown, Long Island neighborhood were drafted, went to Vietnam. When they came back, it was horrendous. And, you know, we all knew them. They were from very young age. And one of them committed suicide. A bunch of them got on heroin. And it was horrible. They were totally different people when they came back. You could see it. And they would explain what happened to them over there. And it was outrageous. So you're absolutely right that this is a different situation. We live in a different time. Media has no clue, and that angers me. They can't give you analysis like I just gave you, or they won't do it. And the media generally sympathizes with the far left, which is the reason why they won't do it.
Absolutely. Bill, President Trump, you often talk with him. I don't know if it's advice, shooting the breeze. We talk to other people. Gag orders got to be tough for him. I think it's unfair when it comes to Cohen, Stormy Daniels, and some others. You don't want him talking about some witnesses or, you know, things of the judge's daughter is a player here, but maybe that one's questionable. What's his mindset with the gag order?
You know, I don't really know, but I can tell you that if he calls me up tonight, I'll give him this advice. You don't have to say a word. Just stand there and have a spokesperson next to you. And let the spokesperson say what you have him read a sheet that you wrote for him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to say a word. Why put yourself in jeopardy and, you know, to be fined again? Just have somebody sitting there reading what you want read. Everybody knows this is a ridiculous show trial that is politically driven. There isn't any fair-minded person in this country who can think this is legitimate. It's not. And Trump, you know, portrays himself as a victim. He feels comfortable there. And he is, in this case, a victim, even if you hate him. This is just a bogus thing to damage his chances of being reelected. And everybody knows it. But there are tactics that you can use. And I think by putting himself always in the eye of the storm, sorry for the cliche, he hurts himself, that he can do it in other ways and get his point across.
Absolutely. Bill, congratulations on the book. We're really looking forward to this. Particularly, I like that. Did they help the country or hurt the country? That's the ultimate designation, out on September 10th. Confronting the President's no-spin assessments from Washington to Biden. And Bill, good luck on Go ahead.
I appreciate that, Dom. One more thing. I'm sending you a present. I'm sending you a not woke mug.
Okay.
They are the fastest selling item we've ever had on BillO'Reilly.com.
Wow.
They're made in America. They'll last a lifetime. Simple message, not woke. Giordano gets one. We want everybody in Philly to go to BillO'Reilly.com and order them.
I can hardly wait to be drinking my tea from that every day. Walk
Great.
around the station, not woke. Thank you, Bill. Thanks for the gift, too.
Okay, Don. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bill O'Reilly. I don't know if I took him back in the beginning, Dan, but he said, what if it's terrible? No, he usually sends it a couple of months in advance. He asks for your opinion on it, but, you know, it's a little tough then. I think it's already in the galleys. Next time we get him on, we'll ask about other presidents, how he assesses them. Did they help the country or hurt? And he's got Biden behind Buchanan. I mean, Biden's got a heavy lift. Buchanan allowed the Civil War, essentially, to move forward. I don't know how Biden can beat that. Does that satisfy you? You know, if you can't stand this?
Yeah.
I guess it does. I just think Buchanan, the way I read him, was just kind of lazy and out of it. Not so much a driving force taking us. Not only that, let's see what he puts in the Sunday column. Vietnam, grassroots, this stuff, not.
And it also had like 150 years to digest the implications of Buchanan presidency.
Yeah, exactly. Biden, well, and he's still ongoing. Yeah. All right.
Hey, comment for youtube.com/@1210WPHT, always streaming live there. You can call it that interview live. Secret Squirrel writes, and I love Dom's turtleneck sweater. Such a handsome guy.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's Dr. Ben's photo shoot today, Dan, but it's casual elegance today. I don't think a jacket and tie. I have the jacket I wear with the jeans and sneak, but you won't see that much.
Yeah.
That'll be available hopefully tomorrow.
So how do you keep the black turtleneck so clean and black though? Like now they have a dog. Like you have a cat. How do you,
yeah.
but
Well,
how do you
Freddie
not have cat
doesn't.
hair anywhere on that
Well,
shirt?
Freddie doesn't shed. He's got that perfect fur.
You don't
You've
have a
seen
cat.
him.
Every cat sheds.
He really doesn't shed
No,
too
come
much.
on.
No.
Really?
He throws up a lot all over the place, but he doesn't shed.
Don, you're a classy guy.
That's right, and so's the cat. Put that in there. All right, 855-839-1210. Thanks to Bill O'Reilly, though, and all these books. I often tell them, and it's the truth. There are things I thought I know a lot about, and then I find something and I go, wow, I didn't know that angle. He's got an ear, he's got a gut for it, and he's got a great researcher that works with him. All right, so here's how you do it. 855-839-1210. Hit us with something on Twitter, Dan. And Marcus Aurelius is going this.
Oh, he's great.
He's got to be cranked out today. I mean, the number of things that he thinks people don't like, they're just pretending, is remarkable.
You know, I threw that 2001 Space Odyssey out there thinking I'd get trashed on Twitter, and people are actually supportive of it. I guess it is nobody does actually like it. But Head of Lettuce also, along with Marcus Aurelius, with Office Parties.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, you got to act like you like the office party for the boss, right? But nobody actually wants to go.
Yeah, exactly right.
Same with happy hours, after work happy hours. It's like, let me just go home to, the dog and the kids.
There you go.
Well, I don't have any kids, but
Maisie's just coming home to you. It was either you or an office party. All right, you wanted
Maisie has
this
like a happy hour once a week, and I'm like, come on, I want to eat dinner with you, babe.
All right,
what's
that's
going on here?
All right, Captain.
I hope it's a happy.
That's because they have that driverless car over there at the Navy Yard.
Oh, is that
I
what it
wonder
is?
how that's going.
She's just taking laps through the city on the driverless.
Is the driverless car off the Navy? I don't care what they do in the Navy Yard. That's up to those people.
Navy Yard.
If it comes down Broad Street now, that's a problem. It's a driverless car. Hey, Ro, I don't think there's a driver in that
Said
car.
it began operations February 27th.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. No accidents to report yet.
Runs Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Limited. The robot can't work extra hours, huh?
All right, here's your stops. Rouse Boulevard and Intrepid Avenue, the Courtyard by Marriott. Broad Street and Crescent Avenue. 15th Street and Kitty Hawk Avenue, and 15th and Flagship Avenue.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, it's not off the campus yet.
No.
So to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a big place down there, too. All right, coming up, Kevin Boyle. What's the real story? What happened with this guy? Is it Democrat shenanigans trying to stop him from winning the primary today? You know, the brother of Brendan Boyle, the fugitive for justice, voting in Harrisburg. Did Krasner just go yesterday? Never mind. I'll tell you what I'm told. Coming up here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Captain Chucky's reminds all of us for spring gatherings to call and order delicious seafood. Not too soon to start thinking about a big spread for Mom in a few weeks. Make your list and let Captain Chucky's fulfill it. And don't forget to order that brand new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake, a delicious, creamy 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick. For those who like to spice it up with some heat, check your store for availability. Perfect time, too, to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuffed mushrooms, various salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, desserts. Captain Chucky's, too, several choices, breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. They have a lot of them. Literally a crab cake for everybody. Desserts, soup, sides, appetizers. They only use the highest quality ingredients. Hergulf shrimp, a huge hit. It's always wild caught, never farm raised. And my favorite, those delicious Dom rolls. So visit Captain Chucky's today. There's definitely a location near you. Just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. You'll find everything there. WeLoveCrabCakes.com.
Are you still holding on to that winter weight? Time to shed that fat and get ready for the warmer weather of spring with NJ Diet. For over a decade, they've helped thousands of people lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. That's nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements to get you to shed that fat quickly. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep the weight off. You are fully supervised the entire time to make sure you are burning fat and not just losing water. And you even get the doctor's personal email and phone number. Locations in King of Prussia, Cherry Hill, and Newark, Delaware, or available from home with live online consultations. Call 855-5NJ-DIET, 855-5NJ-DIET, or schedule your consult today at njdiet.com. Get slimmer before this summer with njdiet.com. Hey, it's Rich Zioli, and if you want to make lifetime memories with your family and friends, you should book a getaway at my happy place, the beautiful oceanfront Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey. Right now, book a June midweek stay and save. Stay 3 nights, you're going to get $60 a night in resort credit. 5 nights, $70 a night in resort credit. Stay 7 nights, you're going to get $80 a night in resort credits, and you can use those resort credits to eat and drink at Hemingway's restaurant, the outdoor pool bar, beach concession stand, or in the gift shop. Get passes to take your family on a whale-watching boat cruise. Book direct with them for the best rates. The Grand is also the perfect place to host a wedding, corporate events, baby and bridal showers, and more. With 4 ballrooms, they have the perfect space to make your event perfect. Just call them, ask for my friend Caitlin, and she will help you have your dream event. To book your stay today at the Oceanfront Grand Hotel of Cape May, call 800-257-8550 or visit them at grandhotelcapemay.com.
I'm Philomena, founder of Kin Apparel here in Philly. I love my natural hair, but not what hoodies and hats were doing to it. So I made my own satin-lined hoodies and created a business in the process. I've got big dreams, and Chase for Business in Philly was like, all right, how do we get you there?
Get financial guidance from bankers in your community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours. Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Imagine taking a shower that never runs out of hot water. Well, here's some good news. Bradford White's Infinity Series GS and GR tankless water heaters deliver endless hot water whenever you need it. They're highly efficient too, saving you energy and money. Like all Bradford White water heaters, they're built to be the best for years of reliable performance. How you heat your water matters. Learn more about our Infinity Series tankless water heaters at bradfordwhite.com.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/value, and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value for 60% off. legacybox.com/value.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT. Free speech lives here.
Oh, don't you just love jazz?
I
oh,
do.
My God.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's tremendous.
You're really agreeing with that tweeter now? On,
Yeah.
on Twitter,
Yeah.
it came in during the break that Marcus Aurelius says jazz is something that people only pretend to like. Come on.
I would agree.
Really?
Yeah, most people. I'm
Maybe
sure
in our evenings, we turn on jazz and we eat dinner to jazz music playing on the Alexa.
Oh, my God, Alexa.
Makes us
Alexa,
feel like
play
we're in an
jazz.
Olive Garden or a Panera Bread.
Yeah.
That's great. Doesn't it feel like you're in a Panera Bread right now?
No, they don't play that kind. Where was I the other day? We were at Vigiano's and they play like Elvis, Sinatra.
That's good dinner music too, but it's not jazz. Come
Stand
on.
by Your Man. I love that.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Stand By Me. We had to look it up, exactly that version. Okay.
Real quick, Hasn't Been Sober. 2001 was a great movie. Some say they don't like it. I don't really like it because it's over their head or they don't want to look dumb. Same for Shakespeare and opera.
Well, opera, I would agree.
Yeah.
Shakespeare, no, though. I mean, guys, just, you don't want to put a little bit of effort in. All right. California, DJ just reminded me of this, and I know it's right up your alley, Dan. They have the votes, they look like, to ban the various cheese products that give you individual slices that are separate by some kind of plastic. I think Kraft is the only one that does it that I know of.
What? You can't. What?
Yes.
No.
Now, I don't know why they put it in individual slices. Does that ensure more freshness? Is there a certain thing about
So
it?
it doesn't stick together and become one
Stick
big
together,
glob, I think.
that may be it too. But apparently they say, A, the environment suffers because of all that. And 2, tip of the hat to Bob Casey, They think they could be cooking the books. They could be making that plastic a little bit heavier so that you think you're getting more.
So you're saying that the little pieces of paper in between each piece of cheese is piling up into a landfill, and that's the new target?
That's it. That's a new target in California.
These fake cheeses are so good for grilled cheeses. Real cheese just doesn't compare to processed Kraft singles.
Yes. That's the only one I can think of, Kraft singles. I don't know if other people do it or not, but that's the latest out of California. All right, coming up, we're going to talk with Chris
Can't
Tremaglia
have anything good out there, can you?
from the Washington Examiner, Philly guy. He has a couple of new facts about the situation over in the North Penn School District. And then a little bit later in the show, at 2 o'clock, we're going to speak with the chief, the leader of the protest today. Don't know how many parents showed up. And I think they're meeting with the superintendent of schools. And rather than covering stuff up or being overly sensitive because the student's probably transgendered, that should impel them to be more direct, following the law. Otherwise, people are going to say, you're letting someone allegedly commit attempted murder because they're transgender. That's what people are going to think out of this. So just clarify. If you're asked, is it a male or female student? That's a loaded question now. All right, we'll talk with him. We have Dan Time with Dom. Your phone calls too. Get in. Something today, Shakespeare's death anniversary. Something people only pretend to like. They don't really. They just want to feel good. They want to go along with the crowd. 855-839-1210.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
But I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time, I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 215-999-3000. That's 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000.
At Odyssey, we help protect this planet we all share through our One Thing sustainability initiatives. We donate $1 million of media every year to local environmental nonprofit organizations. And this month, our Odyssey teams will be out in our local communities cleaning up, planting trees, and more. When we each do one thing, it becomes 100, 1,000, a million things for our planet. What's your one thing? For more, download the free Odyssey app or go to odyssey.com/onething.
There's only one place to get that perfect custom gift for your special someone. Cozy Jewelers' family-owned and operated showroom in Newtown Square. See their 5 C's in person. That's color, cut, clarity, carat, and of course, the cozy touch. If you have something unique in mind, Cozy will help you customize your piece with all work done in-house, so you always walk away with that unparalleled cozy quality. For your custom jewelry, stop by Cozy Jewelers in Newtown Square or online at cozyjewelers.com and step up to the 5th C.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Ad paid for by AG Marketing Group. Attention timeshare owners. If you need to get rid of your timeshare for any reason, please listen to the following message. Getting out of a timeshare commitment is not easy, and it takes time. But we specialize in helping consumers legally get rid of their expensive timeshares forever. Can't get the vacation dates that work for you? Maybe you felt taken advantage of or forced into the timeshare? Maybe you just can't continue to shoulder those monthly payments any longer. If you need to eliminate your timeshare commitment, then you need to take down this number, 800-866-7061. We will safely and legally get rid of your timeshare payments forever, all with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't continue to let your timeshare be a financial burden to you and your loved ones. Call us now at 800-866-7061. The call is free. The consultation is free. Call 800-866-7061. That's 800-866-7061. Again, 800-866-7061.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. You got the side questions, some really good ones on Twitter. Fisher Pine, Leslie, something people only pretend to like, champagne. I couldn't agree more.
Oh,
What's
delicious.
wrong when you have wine that you have to go with champagne, which is a abysmal form of it?
It's like
No
asking
way.
why go with soda when you can have juice.
Not true. Not true. I'm resting on that one. That's one of mine. National Guard to be called out on college campuses. I think that's a bit of overkill. But Chris Tremaglia is with us again from the Washington Examiner, where he writes principally. Former Penn student. That's where I met him. And he is the first one to get anybody to talk about Leah Thomas at Penn, some of the swimmers there anonymously over the course of time, and just 1,000 other things that he's done. Headline today, transgender student accused of beating preteen student attacked sheriff deputies at hearing after that. This about the North Penn student and what went on there. That is just hard to believe that school thinks they're handling this properly, in my view, and I think Chris is, by just dragging out or giving no information. All right, let's go to Chris here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Chris, welcome in.
Hey, Dom, thanks for having me.
So, Chris, one of the things Dan told me too, you notice the judge in this case, this is in the aftermath of this, issued a formal injunction against news media not to be poking around with this student. Now, I thought with a minor, clearly this is a minor, isn't that something that almost always happens, that since they're a juvenile minor, you can only do so much? What do you see as different in the judge in this case?
Well, actually, the main thing there was, as you brought up, yes, in these particular situations, minors do traditionally have their identity revealed, so that's not in it of itself. But to issue a court order, that is to do such a thing and to mandate that no publication, no entity, no individual can mention this person's identity. And as I said, for the judge to do it through a court order, that is something that is not done in usual practice. And I actually confirmed that with the Upper Gwinnett chief of police as well, because I was under the impression the main thing, like if you're a minor, you don't get your identity revealed. But for a judge to actually issue an order, that is a rare step. And it kind of raises a bunch of questions because in the judge's statement, he specifically mentioned wanting to protect the privacy of the, essentially protect the privacy of the attacker. And he prioritized wanting to protect the privacy of the attacker, but didn't really seem to have that same priority or outright concern for the victim here, who was this 12-year-old girl who was brutally attacked and beaten with a Stanley Cup tumbler at the school last week. And it just kind of, it's just hard to not get angry about hearing about this, because the whole thing is just indicative of what the radical left is doing regarding instances in which radical gender ideology and people are transgender are involved. They're going all these ways and doing all these extra things to coddle and protect them, even when they do things such as egregiously bad as this, and participate in not only actually attacking a 12-year-old student, but also attacking sheriff deputies at the hearing in which the transgender student had to go to because of the violent act that he did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, do you know, Chris, as a term of art, how this would work? But if someone is transitioning or someone is claiming gender identity, I'm assuming that's a protected class if you're in special. Now, my master's is in special ed. And I know when you have a special ed student revealing almost anything, even if necessary here, I mean, if it's so bad with the student coming from one school to this school, this alleged attack, I'll say, even though I think everybody agrees it happened, then the alleged attack on the deputies, it shouldn't matter that you have special ed needs and you're designated something. It should be then that you have to be placed in another setting, that you're dangerous to yourself and others.
Correct. I'd absolutely agree with you there. And I think it just goes back to, I mean, there were so many issues and layers involved with this whole thing. First, there was the refusal of school district officials, school administration officials, law enforcement officials to confirm the gender identity of the attacker. I mean, if it wasn't for parents coming forward and admitting this, it would still be unknown that the attacker was a transgender student. Because when I tried to contact the school district, the school board, everyone denied, refused to clarify. The police said that the gender was not part of the investigation, and therefore they couldn't comment. When I contacted North Penn School District, they referred me to a basically vague statement on their website. But in addition to that, there were other things that happened in the incident which had nothing to do with gender identity, just kind of like a systemic failure of the school in general. There were warnings of this person having an attack. School students went to guidance counselors and school officials expressing fear and worry that this was going to happen, and were told by the teachers, or I shouldn't say teachers, school officials, not to worry about it. And it's hard to say why they said that, but I could definitely make a case that maybe they said not to worry about it and didn't do the things that were necessary to prevent the attack because of the gender identity of student, and they didn't want to cause a ruckus or cause controversy of taking extra preventative measures against this student because of their gender identity. Whereas if it was just a normal student, one could make the argument, again, this is purely speculative, that they would have taken precautions.
Yeah.
So it's a sad realization of the society we live in and how things are in the current climate, and they need to change.
Now, Chris, I've read in a couple of news accounts, so I'll say alleged in this, that the student was only at this school
Alleged.
for a couple of days from a previous school. And it's surprising to me the upper Gwinnett if they said no comment, okay. But if they said that's not part of the investigation, it would seem to me, though, what's the motivation for this student doing this? Were they being teased? Were they being harassed, at least in their mind? that it was such an open secret that students went to guidance counselors. That one little girl was very, very valid, I think, in saying, why was something not done here? Some kind of watchful eye. And that leads us all the way back to this whole thing with the transgender part of it. And Chris, if that turns out to be the case, it would seem to be obvious in the end after the investigation, but I would point out we still don't have the Nashville shooters manifesto. When it comes to this issue,
Right.
they're just saying, as a matter of course, we're not going to let you know anything. And I don't think that's legal if it's part of the motivation, part of the issue that happened here.
I would agree with you, and the great point that you brought up on the Nashville shooter, because I mean, you said we're still waiting for that, and it's those type of things that happen with transgender that raises these questions and raises these red flags that probably don't need to be raised or shouldn't be raised in a normal situation, because it was brutal enough to happen without playing the left wing radical politics and all this. And then you mentioned the little girl that was testifying. I believe her name was Emily. One of the students talking about the other systemic failures of the school here and a potential cover-up. And this is why I think there's more to the story. There's obviously more to the story and a cover-up. Is in her testimony before the school board, she was saying she exposed, and she deserves a lot of credit for being brave and courageous to say this. The school district, in its official statement, said after the attack had occurred, they held the students in their lunch cafeteria for a total of 8 minutes. And during Emily's testimony, she brought up that it wasn't actually 8 minutes. In her words, from paraphrasing her, was something to the effect of that she timed the whole thing, and it was actually 28 minutes.
Wow.
So if the school, and again, this is based on her testimony, if the school is saying, lying or misleading about this, then what else, are they going to be lying about? What other things are they not telling the truth on and misleading on? And that just raises a whole bunch of questions that need to be answered.
Chris, great job as always, too. Washington Examiner. It seems like you were in there 3, 4, or 5 times a week. Is there a website for you, Chris?
Sure. You can search me on the Washington Examiner, or most likely, best probably follow me on my Twitter account at Chris W. Tremo on Twitter.
All righty,
or
Chris.
X now, I guess to say.
Chris, thank you as always. And to be continued, we have the mom coming up at 2 o'clock that led the protest. They may have spoken to the superintendent. We're going to find out.
All right. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Thanks, Chris. Just amazing. And again, we know about all kinds of laws, et cetera, et cetera. It's not about that. There are unanswered questions here. I can't imagine the investigation does not contain something around this whole thing, given this level of attack. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. You just push pound 1210 will get you on board. Hit the side question too. And as I said, the mom who led the protest today might have more insight about what they believe is happening here. No one knows definitively, but it just seems to me this is a extremely serious thing. And Chris just mentioned a large part of it, which is putting an injunction out on this. Yeah, it's a high-profile thing. It's being talked about even nationally, but still an injunction rather than the usual rules here with minors. When you think that's what goes on in each one of these steps, just makes people more anxious to get to the bottom of this. And just this whole movement, the stuff that goes on with it, if it is transgender related, is very, very difficult to see possible outcomes here that are good for anybody. All right, 855-839-1210. That will get you in. Coming up, Mike Rowe, who is just a hero to me, the great work that he's done, posts something that is so apropos about what's going on at Columbia University, Yale University, et cetera. And I want to play. Let me play it now because, Dan, I kept teasing this and we got off into something else. Here is President Biden yesterday talking about the protests, these anti-Semitic protests cut 4 on college campuses. Now, I defended President Trump, even though mangled on Charlottesville, when he said, I wouldn't have put it that way. I've explained myself. There were more than just one group of people there in Charlottesville. There were the Tiki Boy creeps who are just racist. There were those on the other side who were Antifa, without a doubt. But then there were people that think the statue should remain in Charlottesville, and those who didn't. They were part of it also. Listen to Biden trying to do a Charlottesville when asked about these anti-Semitic protests at Columbia and other places. All right, let's break that down. I'll do it next. You could take a shot at it. What the hell? You know, I understand exactly what's going on with the Palestinians here. Is that the same thing as people screaming, let's set fire to Tel Aviv, go back to Poland, to Jewish students there? 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. Hit us on the side question, too, on Talk Radio 1210.
Well, Mr. President, you got a lot of support in Pennsylvania, tremendous support. I've never seen it this big before, honestly. And I know the primary, I know you wish you could be with us, but I just want you to know that the people of Pennsylvania are with you. This is unconscionable what they're doing to you, but we're with you.
You've been so great, and I appreciate it. And get everybody out to vote. They got to get out to vote. We just want to send a signal because I really believe that November 5th, that's Election Day, it will be the most important period, most important day in the history of our country.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Crash Proof Retirement records all financial meetings. All promises made in recorded financial meetings become legally binding between Crash Proof Retirement and the investing client. Crash Proof Retirement provides all of their clients with a certificate of authenticity, further documenting that recording financial meetings brings fiduciary responsibility to the highest level.
I'm Jack Gunning from Bluebell, Pennsylvania. I don't know whether anybody can offer you the security that Crash Proof Retirement does. I have a certificate that tells me they're a fiduciary. Everything is recorded and they have your best interest at heart. That certificate is 100% documentation that you know what they're saying is 100% correct. Other companies don't have this guarantee. This certificate means an awful lot for me, and it should mean an awful lot for you.
Certify your retirement future. Register for either the 11 a.m. or 5 p.m. Crash Proof event at the Washington Crossing Inn on May 15th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
I'm Bev. My husband Bill is living with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a type of interstitial lung disease that can scar your lungs and make it hard to breathe. ILD can be hard to diagnose. If you're out of breath with a constant dry cough, ask a pulmonologist if it could be ILD. Bill and I have been married for over 60 years, and we're looking forward to more. If you or someone you love may have ILD, find support, hope, and help at lungsandyou.com.
Hi, it's John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, a live call-in show airing every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on WPHT. What would you do to protect yourself this cold and flu season? Well, medical hydration therapy at Innovative Medical Associates could help to boost your immune system. That's because vitamin C and other key nutrients are delivered intravenously right to your cells. Medical hydration therapy may even lessen symptoms should you become ill with a virus or suffer with long COVID or post-COVID conditions. Dr. Molly Fantasia at Innovative Medical Associates prescribes a personalized treatment plan for every patient.
We are a medical facility. We treat our IV protocols or our hydration protocols as a medical modality.
Learn more about the benefits of medical hydration therapy at innovativemedicalassociates.com. And be sure to join Dr. Molly and me on Sunday mornings at 8 and again at 4 for Health Watch on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
It's the April sell down going on now at Hessert Chevrolet. Get behind the wheel of a 2024 Chevrolet Equinox LS. Lease it today for only $239 a month. Philly's largest Chevy dealer has the inventory you want at a price nobody else can beat. Don't miss the April sell down going on now at Hessert Chevrolet. Online at HessertChevy.com.
Your way or no way at Hessert Chevrolet.
$23.49 down, 10,000 miles per year, 10 cents every mile over. MSRP $29,130. Must qualify for Tier 1 leasing and lease loyalty through GM Financial. Taxes, tags, and other fees not included. Offer expires April 30th, 2024. See dealer for details.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you expecting a commercial there? Well, when describing the feeling of owning your own swim spa or hot tub, sometimes words can be hopelessly inadequate.
If you like what you hear, Jacuzzi Hot Tubs of Southeastern PA can help by transforming your outdoor living space.
Build your outdoor sanctuary at any one of 5 area jacuzzi locations.
Hey, Clementon. Yeah! We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano show. So Dan has a little bit more of that young girl, Emily, the one who witnessed this attack at North Penn, a little bit more than we played before. We'll play that in a moment. But this Biden quote, how do we put on the same level violent, vicious, anti-Semites? That's exactly what these people are. And anybody taking the side of Hamas, anybody telling us what happened on October 7th, even my alma mater, the nonsense that went on there at LaSalle, they're the same thing, and cowards to boot. How do you throw in this weird statement of Biden saying, or don't understand about the Palestinians? Well, what is it we're not understanding that rises to the level, whatever that might be, of these vicious attacks? And here you have not only Yale and Harvard, it appears, but definitely Columbia. There are a couple of other schools that have just said, no, stay home. You're going to get your education on Zoom. We may do this and just mercifully get to the end of the year. You're paying $95,000 a year to go to these places. That's what they resort to, because these people are not going to go away. What's the way to make them stop? Well, the way to make them stop is actually to arrest them immediately, keep them in jail, process them at normal pace, and then have a trial, and then punish them for various crimes that they're committing. If you don't do that, they're going to continue to do it at this level. I mean, here in Philadelphia, we even gave these mobs money. We paid them off for what they did on 676, which they had no right out there disrupting traffic. They could have got run over. We've been through all this. That's the only way you're going to stop them. Now, there's a call to say bring the National Guard in. What's the National Guard going to do on these college campuses? You know where that leads. Doesn't lead to anything good. Because the problem is Bragg and Krasner and people like this, if you arrest them, they're not being charged. Which brings me to Kevin Boyle. I spoke fairly extensively to some really reliable sources yesterday, Dan, and they are telling me they don't know that there was ever a legitimate arrest order at all, because the protection from abuse order that had been in effect before may not be in effect now. So Krasner holds a press conference, says, never mind, but then he won't reveal the reason why this guy was called a fugitive for justice, and yet nobody could pick him up, and he can't say why everything's being dropped now. In fact, he said it's not being dropped. It's not being dropped. It's just that it doesn't exist. And here's a theory that's out there among law enforcement and all these others. They wanted to stop Boyle in this race. They may feel he may not have beaten the Republicans. You have two strong Republicans running in Northeast Philadelphia, and this guy might do anything. So they tried to waylay him with all this. And then right before the election, to show good faith in somehow or another,
Inside job?
that they now say, well, never mind. Now that they think they've damaged him with all these claims.
What was the idea of wanting to keep Kev out of office? Is it because there's mental questions, or is it they just don't like his politicking, or?
I'm not sure about that. That's strange. He's of the royal family there in the Northeast.
Or do they just prefer the opposing Democratic candidate who also comes from a very highly touted Democratic family?
Yeah, he's a guy they can tell what to do more. This guy might be troubled and might at any moment not be there, and they have to do a whole thing. But how in the world do you have an arrest warrant? And all along it wasn't an arrest warrant.
Yeah.
But nobody knows how that's possible.
And one day before the primary
Yes.
The timing seems very suspect.
Yeah, and Krasner, I'm not giving you any information. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
That's it. We may revisit it in the future.
It's like a storyline ripped out of House of Cards.
Yeah, this is Law and Order or something, or House
Yeah.
of Cards. Yeah. Only in Philadelphia. And the Inquirer was on it for a while. Then they get tired and they just, we want the Democrats to be in charge. So today we're seeing play out. Will it be another Doherty? And does he have a chance, better chance than Boyle, of beating whoever the Republican happens to be in the end? The race I'm watching tonight, just to see the percentages and all that, is the Fitzpatrick-Houck race. I'm also watching to see what happens with the Attorney General. There are several in there that would be a nightmare on the Democrat side, to put it mildly. And then to see if the anti-Biden people get 40 or 50,000 votes to say not committed on the Gaza thing, if that's happening. But when I drove by polling places today, it looked to be tumbleweeds were coming across. And then we're looking to see the mail-in ballot. Dan, I think we ought to get Linda Kearns on tomorrow, our election integrity expert, to see how she think things went here with today's dry run. Today's kind of the spring training for the big event, which will be even more chaotic. But could Democrats have been rigging something inside this? Because, it's embarrassing to the police. We're looking for this guy, and there's no arrest warrant. Well, why was that not said early on? What took, Dan, it seems like this went on a week or so. The Democrats were saying, we know what Mr. Boyle wants his vote to be. Even though we can't get on his office or anything there in Harrisburg, we're taking that into account, and we're working on it. Wow. 855-839-1210. Let's go to Jerry in Elmer. Jerry's on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jerry, welcome in.
Hey, Dom, how you doing?
Good.
Thanks for taking my call. Now, before I give the question of the day, which you may get mad at, I have a few comments. I've seen a teacher of 40 years.
Okay.
There is a major breakdown in the chain of command of that school district. There is absolutely no way that child says that she feels in danger and it didn't go right up the line and something was done. And so the administration, they are absolutely in a bullseye here.
Well, look, Jerry, particularly today where we're in hypersensitivity, you at least have to go through the motions if a kid says something.
Now, remember, Dom, there are a whole bunch of victims here. Every single kid in that cafeteria will never be the same. With blood everywhere and the sounds, the one girl testified, the sounds of the hitting, these kids will never be the same, and I don't think anybody's thinking about them.
Yeah, well, I think I would not go down that path, Jerry. I hear what you're saying, to say they'll never be the same. I would try to talk with them and say, yeah, this is bad, but you know what? You'll come through this.
Yeah, but what bothers me is all the way up to the police department not reporting the kid as trans. This is the procedure. Well, why wasn't the procedure of that poor girl reporting that kid followed? If they're going to follow the report, the procedure.
Exactly
it
right.
bothers me.
What's your
All
side
right.
answer, Jerry? What's your side today?
That people can't tell them the truth. Dom, I've seen you a few times in public places. Your hair is not that good.
Oh, wow. Shots fired from
What
Jerry,
kind of
man.
thing is this? Oh, my
Hey,
God.
Dom,
Yes.
your hair's fine, but I tell you what I thought when I first saw you. I thought, wait a minute, that can't be Dom. His hair isn't that good.
Oh, my gosh, Jared, throwing
Oh, my
shots.
God. Dan,
Those
you
are
know
some
me.
fighting words.
All right, dump that guy, Jim. He never
Yeah,
calls
let
in
me
again.
get this going, man.
The hair.
Get ready for
All
this fight.
right.
Oy.
Come to the next event. We'll have this in full. Have all my barbers there. I blame my barbers, Dan, for that.
Taking shots at the hair, Dom. What's next?
What's next?
Legs, though. Just remember,
Yeah, that's
what
right.
my
Yeah,
wife
all
says,
right.
at
Right.
least.
We'll see that at Mulligan's on Trump Day. You know, it might be shorts weather.
I think your hair is fantastic.
Oh, my God. Oh, goodness. I need to call in my barber, stylist, and everybody else. All right, that's a great
Shameless plug, youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Be your own judge. Go look at
But
Dom's
you got to
hair.
remember, too, Dan, I'm messed up by this headset here today. Let me see here. There you go. Now it's getting to, come on. The headset. You can't go by the headset. Nobody with the headset can look good. Greg Stocker's got to get better headsets. They're just barely. I don't like the ears thing. So you ever see those? I think they
With
look
the
weird.
earbuds?
I'm afraid of putting the earbuds directly into the
Yeah,
ear.
we're touching the eardrums. I can't be
No,
helping,
I don't
right?
understand. And the sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that's an advantage.
Jim, you can vouch. Dom's got good hair, right?
Yeah, he's got good hair.
Oh, whoa.
Oh,
He
that was
said-
tepid, too.
whoa.
He's got good hair.
All right.
Did you watch the hair? I work hard on my hair all day, and what do? You hit my hair.
Well, I don't know if that was Travolta. It was more Travolta that said that at dinner when he hit the hair.
Yeah,
Other than
Travolta.
Rocky. Oh, you were
Saturday
doing
Night
him. I thought you were
Fever, yeah.
doing Rocky, too.
No.
Oh, okay. The hair,
Rock-
Dan. We got to enter that. That might be an interesting. No polling available on that. All right.
Yo, Mick, what are you doing?
Oh, now we're real mixing movies.
Yeah.
We got a mix of movies going on over here. Mick, who keeps ringing that bell?
All right. 855-839-1210. You get on board. Defenders, come on. Come out of the woodwork. Also, coming up, we have a little bit more of the little girl in question, more than the thing we played the other day, what she said about this attack. We are watching to see what happens with the gag order today. And as far as anything happening in more of the David Pecker, I didn't ask O'Reilly about Pecker.
Gonna ride that dumb button on the show, apparently.
I didn't see anything more on the Pecker testimony yet today. We'll see. People are in shock out here on the hair thing. My God, I may have to have the mayor. Ask Henry Triano, Dan.
Got
if he
sales
can
guys
declare-
coming in to reassure you how good your hair is.
Yeah, if you can declare it National Hair Day when we do Dom Giordano Day down at Mulligan's. We got to get a hair thing.
National
Show up
Hair
with better
Day.
hair than Jerry of Elmer. Drive over to Mulligan's.
Yeah, prove it, Jared.
Prove it. 852 pays are allowed. 855-839-1210. You get in on Talk Radio 1210. Let's do FanDuel for a moment. Oh, man. The Sixers last night, the killer. Nick Nurse is a great coach at the end, but you know what? He had to get the attention of the ref. These referees last night, not seeing
Well, I
the
want to talk
timeout.
about this more during Dan time with you, but it
Okay.
just came out recently about 30 minutes ago. The Sixers have filed a grievance with the NBA over the officiating.
And I agree with it. Our guys down the hall, Sports Talk Radio, Dan, didn't get it. Why would you do that? They're not going to overturn it. You know why you do it? You're working the refs for the next couple games.
Yeah, it's true too.
You're
Yeah, it's a
saying
great
to them,
strategy.
you're going to have to give back a few calls to us. Close call at the end of the game. We get it.
Yeah, but those calls were egregious.
Well, I blame the Sixers too. You know, that
Yeah.
you got to protect the ball. But anyhow, the road to the NBA Finals starts now, and new customers on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino can go on their own playoff run with $150 with $150. Just place any $5 bet. You get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, to use during the NBA playoffs. All right, I like the Sixers in the next game coming up on Thursday.
4.5 point favorites.
The Sixers, yeah, I think that's right. I think they're the better team. At home in that game, a few days rest.
204 over under.
I'm going to go over on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit different than in New York. For all this, though, tons of bets. Just go to FanDuel.com/Dom. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
It will be another pleasant day today with plenty of sunshine and warmer with a high 68. Tonight, not as cold, increasing clouds, a shower possible overnight, low 48. And for Wednesday, early morning shower possible, then becoming partly sunny, high 68.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding, how much I love my new patio doors. You know by now, if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I'd only trust the Chapman team. If you're thinking of updating your current siding or removing your current stucco and replacing it with siding, think Chapman. With the new updated siding choices available, the curb appeal of your home will pop. If you currently have stucco, updating it with James Hardy plank or vinyl siding will truly add value to your home. If you're looking to sell, you can bet buyers will value updated new siding. And right now would be a good time to get ahead of the ball and plan your siding project for 2024. The certified Chapman installers are the folks you want on the job. If you or someone you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, stucco remediation, shutters, or hardware, give them a call or text them 610-431-8898, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Chapman, the name I trust. Tell them Dawn sent you.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth. And if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds guaranteed with NJ Diet. NJ Diet uses DNA and blood work to help you lose weight and keep it off. Tune into their radio show Sundays at 2 or visit NJDiet.com.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Almost cut my hair.
Dom, I add a witness to the fight against Jerry. Who was it, Jerry and Wilmington? Who just
Jerry
called
and
him?
Elmer.
Jerry and
Wherever
Elmer.
is. Or Elmer and Jerry. One of them.
Jerry
Yes.
and Elmer. Not a big supporter of the Dom Giordano hair. And I got a witness here, Dom, who wants to add his opinion about the Dom Giordano hair coif. And that's Anthony Dorenzo from the morning show.
Yes.
I think your hair is 10 out of 10. Perfect. It's actually better than the Donald Trump the
wow
that he has. It's 10 times better.
Is that someone you want to be compared to, Dom, and Donald Trump when it comes
the
to
Donald?
over the years, the main thing, a former host that was only here for a short period of time said it was a wig and we had to go through a contest. There could have been a court case, Your Honor. Come on.
I mean, I can send someone in there right now, youtube.com/@1210WPHT to give a little tug if you want.
He's Italian. That isn't just thin hair. That's not going to fall out. That's, that's in there, that hair.
Amazing. But Dan, that guy's in the running. I'm not saying he's going to win today for something that people pretend to like. We'll see.
Is that Just for Men, Touch of Gray, or is this all natural?
No, it's all natural. It's all natural. It's just a lot of hair gel. The Mega. I love the Mega.
So usually about this time, what would happen is I'd get a text from Ro.
Yes.
But Tom, no text.
Yes. I wonder.
Does that mean she's endorsing Jerry's call?
Or maybe she's out there with the traps and squirrels, groundhogs, and other rodents are overrunning us.
She's rodent chasing.
Yeah, she's doing that. Thank you, Anthony, very much for that contribution. Thank you. Dan, do you have Dan time with Dom, or what the heck's going on here?
No, it's still next segment.
Oh, it's next segment. Oh, I got confused. All right.
I can go too if you really want me to.
The hair attack threw
I'm
me
not
off.
a big fan of the rat.
Okay. Thanks, Anthony. 855-839-1210. You get in. Something, to Dan's point, he thinks Shakespeare on his the day of his birth and death is completely fakery and virtue signaling.
Hassan bin Sober says bagpipes. People just act like they like bagpipes. But I enjoy. I like it. Yeah.
I like the bagpipes.
Well, I can't. I like them in moderation. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can only take them in moderation. You can't do the bagpipes 24/7.
Joe of Exton a little bit later on will explain why Shakespeare, he might recite some for us, is so valued.
Did you mention, I know you always mention this, did you mention fruitcake?
No.
No, because he actually does like fruitcake.
I do like the fruitcake. No, that's true. I do.
My dad's that guy that I don't think
No,
he
I'm
really
with you.
likes
Nobody
it.
actually likes it. They just say they do so they can be cool.
Just No, I do actually like it. A little bourbon that they put in there too is good.
You're a bourbon guy now after
No,
Rand
but
Paul.
just a little bit with the fruitcake is good.
Frank the Tank on Twitter, White Claw. You ever try a White Claw? The seltzer?
I have not tried all that stuff.
No.
Unless they're
That seems to be a cool guy. I'll give you one from Seinfeld. Dockers. It just happened to be on last week. One of the more attractive women that Seinfeld was dating there had a whole thing about guys sitting around in Dockers that Seinfeld was mocking. I think wearing Dockers and those type of dress pants, they never look good.
I got another one right up there with Dockers are the Sperry topsiders, the boat shoes.
Oh, yeah.
They're not comfortable. Nobody likes the look of them. People just act like they do.
Yeah, exactly. They got to rub against your feet. I wouldn't think that's comfortable at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. 855-839-1210. You get on board.
Detour.
The great hair debate. Oh, my God. That was out of the blue. Thank you, Jerry. All right. At 2 o'clock, we are going to talk with the head of the protest today over in the North Penn School District around what Chris Tremaglia just beautifully laid out. Why are they trying to avoid? And the answer, their defense will be in the end, I think, well, it's all legalisms. Now, people are not going to hear that. And I think that this kid could have been charged with, I know it's only a 13, 14-year-old kid, but you hit somebody from behind over the head with one of these Stanley cups. I don't know the charge between aggravated assault, if there is one, and attempted murder. You could kill someone. I mean, it's that serious of a thing. All right, let's go to Robert in Ben Salem. Hey, Robert. Good afternoon. Hi.
Hey, Tom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys on this beautiful day. It occurs to me that Joe Biden might have given himself a new theme song when he told his story about his Uncle Bosie. And I would like to submit that a good one comes from a group called the Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Biden's crazy. Ooh, ooh. I won't torture you by going on anymore with that.
I would love more.
I'd have to say, out of the mindless things that he said, if I were doing the top 10 list today, this has to be one or two. This whole Uncle Bosie and the cannibals thing, even for Biden, is remarkable.
Well, if you can't give me freedom or facts, you better give me funny or we're going to have a civil war. And to Joe Biden's credit, he has given us yards of funny over the last 3 years.
That's true. All right. What's your yeah, go ahead.
My answer to the side question would be freedom. Some people don't want it because they want others to run their lives. Some people say they like freedom as long as their side gets it. So I'll go with freedom for the general answer. You guys have a great day
That
today,
is
man.
a great one. That's a serious one. Outside the box, freedom. Okay. Yeah, are people pretending at that they really don't want universal freedom? 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. One other cut I wanted to play before Dan time with Dom. Speaking of which, cut 9, Dan. Here is the Gavin Newsom new abortion ad about Alabama. So picture this. You have two young women trying to get over the border. I don't know what state would be more friendly than Alabama when it comes to abortion. They're about 100, 200 yards away, and a cop pulls them over. The cop is a really good actor in this. And what he does, what he demands from this blonde young woman.
Good all around, I gotta say.
Yeah, they're all pretty good actors in it. They overplay it, but I think they do it correctly. All right, listen to the ad.
We're almost there. You're going to make it.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Stop them by taking action at righttotravel.org. Campaign for Democracy Group is responsible for the content of this advertising.
All right, how many people on the other side think, yeah, that's what they're going to be doing? Take a pregnancy test. All right, that guy's good.
Oh,
he
man.
does a southern accent.
Ma'am.
He doesn't overdo it. He does it.
Well, no, I
pretty
think it's a little overdone, actually.
Well,
No,
you have to
I'm just hearing the
overdo
audio of
You
it.
have to overdo it a hair.
You think
Just-
so?
Yeah, I think so.
It's almost
yeah.
like Lindsey Graham overdone, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I didn't ask for this.
you have to take a pregnancy test. All right, your calls and Dan Time with Dom coming up. Hey, it's so important to make sure our families have the essentials: food, shelter, and of course, pure, clean drinking water. There's a lot of news about drinking water these days. Just do what I did. Count on Martin Water Conditioning to secure your family's drinking water. The Kinetico system removes all the impurities from your water. What comes out of that tap is crystal clear, all natural water. Not only is it the best tasting water ever, it provides peace of mind knowing that your family's water is pure and clean. The Martin Water Conditioning family is passionate about water. They'll put their 46 years of experience to work for you. Their customer service, attention to detail are just fantastic. They'll come out to your home and test your water, recommend solutions that make sense for you. Customer service, they are immaculate. They're caring. Dwayne has been our guy on several occasions. You just can't do better when it comes to customer service. So contact Martin Water Conditioning. They'll take great care of you. Click on martinwater.com or call 800-887-7555. 800-887-7555. Tell them Dom G sent you.
Okay, the weather is finally getting warmer. Summer's almost here. So Friday, May 3rd, let's get a jump start on summer and head to Cape May.
All right, Sealy Army, the weather's warm. It's time to head down the shore, and I want you to join me for our first live show of the year at my happy place, the Grand Hotel of Cape May, New Jersey. Hijinks will ensue. You better be there.
Join Rick Seoli for the first live broadcast of 24 at the Grand Hotel in Cape May, Friday, May 3rd, on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and the free Odyssey app.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we have absolutely incredible offers, and a plethora of both new and certified Volvos from which to choose. We are eager to offer amazingly competitive prices because we need the room for all of our construction vehicles. When leasing or purchasing a new or certified Cherry Hill Volvo, you become part of our team. Join Cherry Hill Volvo for the pricing and attention you deserve. I am Judith Krepnick, president of Cherry Hill Volvo.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Time! Great workout, Rock.
I'll hit the showers.
Not anymore, Rock. I went to Half Price Hot Tubs and got a nice hot tub and infrared sauna.
Hey, yo, Mick, how many rounds did you go to get that deal?
At Half Price Hot Tubs, you always get the best price on the best brands with more inventory than you have sequels.
I'll get one for me and Buckus.
Spring in the spring sale, save up to $500 and get a unique chemical-free system at 0% financing. Go to halfpricehottubs.com.
You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you. Pass it on. From PassItOn.com.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
They're running a strange program, y'all.
It's Dan time
I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says.
with Dom.
That's right. It's that time of afternoon that Dan takes over the Dom Giordano program for some Dan time with Dom and Dom. The compliments continue to roll in on the hair on YouTube. We got a couple people just saying how great it looks. YouTube.com/@1210WPHT to see that great head of hair on Dom Giordano, which was nominated for our side question, which is completely unfair.
That's okay. We'll see in the end if Jerry and Elmer ever makes it on Talk Radio 1210 again. Just kidding, Jerry.
Led Zeppelin said on Twitter as something that somebody pretends to only like, but they don't actually like, school class photos, and turkey bacon also mentioned. Not a fan, Dom, of turkey bacon?
I don't like bacon. I know that puts me in the...
And also, Jimmy says on Twitter, Dom, you can say former host when referring to a past host at 1210 WPHT, but you can't say former president. Why does that continue to persist? Nobody ever knows, Dom. Alec Baldwin back in the news, Dom. Anti-Israel agitator.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah. Your thoughts. Does it all change your opinion on Alec Baldwin seen slapping the phone out of the hand of a person who was demanding he say free Palestine on camera?
I support that. That was almost imprisonment, harassment. I support Baldwin in this. And if people have seen this, how could you ever support Baldwin? It is a comeuppance given his personality, Dan, but the obnoxiousness, who's the most obnoxious of all these mobs? They might be, or is it the transgender, mob that's out? I support Baldwin in this.
It's like the same one, though. It's a crossover. They both have purple hair.
Yeah. But, I mean, Baldwin, I think, deserves a little bit more space in that. How about you, Anthony?
Interesting. I agree with that, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I always say you shouldn't get to physical, even though I know he didn't punch her, but I think I'd probably get to the point where I hit a phone out of someone's hand too.
Yes, if he had jumped
yeah.
on her or something, but pushing the phone back when it's too close to, you know what? To make it a little bit better, the little trick he might have done, you can move in a little closer, like they're moving the phone to you, then slap it away. But yeah, I supported it. It was obnoxious to stuff, and he tried everything. Get the police. Open the door for her. He didn't just launch.
I'm being harassed. Yeah.
Well, we're in New York City. Dom, let's talk about the playoffs a little bit as we saw the Sixers take on the Knicks up there in Madison Square Garden. And ridiculously unfair calls by the referees. Now, as I said earlier, it's now led to the Sixers to file a grievance with the NBA over the officiating in the first round series. And Dom, are we just being butthurt fans of, the Sixers here saying, the officials are not on our side? Or do you think there's actually something here?
Well, LeBron James, among others, if I cite him as a source, Stephen A. Smith, who was in Philadelphia for a while, they all said the same thing. It was murder. I mean, and they were calling a number of ticky-tack fouls in the Sixers relatively before that. That's not why they lost fully, though.
Yeah, I agree with you because nobody helped Embiid, nobody helped Maxey. Both of them look outstanding. I mean, even Embiid with struggling a bit, he looks great. So if any of our bench players, Oubre, even Buddy Hield, I know he's new. You got to show up. They can't do nothing, especially when these Knicks are just kind of nonstop. And they're calling the Trae Young foul again, even though I thought that wasn't allowed anymore. But
that too. And again, Tobias Harris played half decent, which is a miracle. I don't know that will happen again.
Yeah.
One of the things that is most frustrating to me is just the inbound passing and the holding of players as they're, one team's getting called as fouls, the other's clearly holding players on inbounds, not getting called.
Well, that's when you have to decide. They got to make a decision. If they're holding, do you go like this? Do you fall down? Do you do something?
Yeah.
Or is that going to make it even more? I would have called timeout well before. You get the ball at half court.
Well, you could see Nick Nurse. He says that he was trying to call timeout there, but there's also a still image of Maxey on the ground and Nick Nurse holding the tee hands.
But I would have called it before the inbounds play there because you get it at half court then.
Yeah.
And then by doing that, it's a lot harder to box someone in that manner, and they have a lot longer place to go. That should have been the play, given what the referees were letting go on. And I think he thinks that too now, Nick Nurse. I still pick the Sixers to win 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
They're better. They're the better
That
team.
Madison Square Garden crowd is amazing.
They're obnoxious New Yorkers. It just,
I kind of like it, though.
Yeah.
I do.
I
they're like
respect
us.
it. I respect it. I don't like
they're worse. So.
What do you guys think of, particularly Dom? What do you think of using the F word in a chant, though, when you're talking about a player like that?
No, you should never be able to.
I'm fine with that. Are you kidding me?
Really?
Yeah. Who cares?
No, I have a point of pride, got the recreation department to bring the head of the recreation department, 16th and Jackson League that DJ was playing in, because players were yelling curses out on a foul or whatever.
Okay, that's different, though. That's high school. These guys get paid millions of dollars. You can hear the F word. I don't care.
Well, I don't think publicly that's a good.
I think the extension goes, though. Why is it okay to say it at a NASCAR event before a president's name?
I'll let you take that up with the Trump people and Biden people right now, Dan. All right, I think we.
I mean, if it's okay there, then it should be okay to say
it's a fly in the ointment.
That's all I got for Dan Time today. I'll step aside.
All right, thank you. Coming up, we have the leader, apparently, of the protests at the North Penn School District today. And did they meet with the superintendent, and what is going on with that case? 855-839-1210. You get on board. Keep them coming, too. Don't wait to the very end. Something like Shakespeare, who I revere. I have to admit it. Joe Vexton's going to help me with that. This is all propelled by Dan on this. Something that people really are virtue
Marcus
signaling.
Aurelius on Twitter's on fire, man. Says, I like Dom's hair, but then again, I also like the smell of bus fumes.
All right, where's Roe? This is the time for the call. This would be the monumental call of the century. 855-839-1210.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, Philly. Jason Kelsey here. Even though I won't be playing on Sundays anymore, you can still find me at Lincoln Financial Field on Saturday, May 18th for the Eagles Autism Challenge, presented by Lincoln Financial Group. This event raises millions of dollars to support autism research and care and gives you the chance to walk, run, or ride your bike beside your favorite Eagles players. Together, we can transform the lives of individuals affected by autism. Register today at eaglesautismchallenge.org, and I'll see you there.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 1039 FM.
It's primary day in Pennsylvania. The polls are open until 8 p.m. tonight. We're hearing more testimony from the first witness of Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York. And Columbia University is offering students hybrid learning the rest of the semester because of the pro-Palestinian protests happening around campus.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
This is the time of year to enjoy life. Dawn Stensland here. Stop letting that pain in your joints keep you from doing what you want to do this spring. Just call my friends at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. I'm talking lasting joint pain relief. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. It's a fact. QC Kinetics is transforming lives. Their advanced treatments harness your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Now, this life-changing treatment is available for you. So you can walk, run, climb stairs, play golf, move again, pain-free. No pain pills, no risky surgery. It's an all-natural solution. QC Kinetics has tens of thousands of satisfied patients who've reclaimed their mobility. Take action now. Do this. Live your best life this spring and summer. Great use of your tax refund check, by the way. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 215-999-3000. 215-999-3000. Tell Dawn sent you.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is the Dom Giordano Show. Joining us in a moment is one of the leaders of the protest today in front of the North Penn Special Services building, I think, because the issue there of this attack may be related to a student, it appears, that is in special needs of one sort or another. Headline at the Delaware Valley Journal, which if you don't go online to read that every day, you're missing what really is going on in the area. North Penn parents plan protest after trans student attacks, injures a 12-year-old girl. You've heard the 12-year-old girl. Dan has a little bit more of that before we go to one of the leaders of that protest today. Here's the 12-year-old. You heard her talk about the blood and all the rest of it. But the major part to me is that this was reported that it would happen, according to her and others, and nothing was done to block it, Dan. Here's what she said.
Grabbing her hair and hitting her against the table and just repeatedly hitting her with the Stanley. There was blood going everywhere. I was the table right behind it. And all you see is blood everywhere. And it was just, and then you say in your email that it was 8 minutes, but we timed it. It was 28 minutes. And we had to sit in there and watch them clean up her blood off those tables and ground. And we had to watch them take her out with blood dripping down her face. And I will never forget that. And laying in bed last night, I just kept repeating it in my head. And we shouldn't have had to sit there and just watch them clean up her blood with the mop. Watch her repeatedly yelling that I'm going to murder you and just hitting her with the Stanley. And I don't get how, you couldn't have stopped it. It was 5 hours from when I told you it was going to happen and when it happened. It was 5 whole hours. I don't get how you couldn't have stopped that.
All right, that's the part, Dan. Thank you. More than even the bloody encounter that gets me, in my years in school, and particularly with what's going on now, there would have been an alert on this. People take this stuff seriously. There would have been some intervention to take a look at this. All right, let's go to one of the leaders of the protest today. Stephanie Pavlov-Kak joins us on Talk. Pavlov-Kak joins us here on Talk Radio 1210. Stephanie, thanks for taking time out to join us. What did you do at the protest today? What was the point, and what were your parents saying there?
So basically, me and another mother, Nicole, organized this protest to, just because we want answers, we want accountability. Why was this allowed to happen when, as you heard from that video clip that you just shared, breaks my heart hearing her, recant the story. How did it even get to this point to where this child was attacked? When staff was made aware of this numerous times, this child had went and the little girl you just heard, reported it the day before. There was something called a hit list that this child had in their short 3 days at our school of children that they wanted to beat up. And it was reported by parents. Kids went to their counselors. They went to their parents. Their parents, a good friend of mine, called the school, emailed the school, and she was followed up with a generic email. The student in question is being spoken to. The day of the attack, the little girl that you just shared in her clip, she went to the counselors 5 hours before and said, hey, there's rumors of something bad's going to happen at lunch. They were all scared. And so they took the child, the attacker, and had them stay in the office all day. And they allowed the child to go to the lunchroom to get lunch. Even knowing that this is where the attack was supposed to take place, they allowed the child to go to the lunchroom with an aide, and the child was able to break free from the aide and do this vicious attack.
Wow. Now, Stephanie, that's new details. So, yeah, given the climate in schools now, when I was teaching, they would have done something more directly. They kept allegedly the child in the office. Then they have to go to lunch. But this is the very period. Weren't they aware of?
They were warned about. Yes.
Wow. And with an aide. So there was an aide there. And they can't stop this person from still getting a Stanley Cup and bashing. So, Stephanie, since the protest this morning and all that, have you guys met with school officials? And if so, can you tell us anything of where we are now?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we had a meeting, me and the other mother, with the superintendent. And, I do feel like he's trying to rectify the situation. But sometimes things are too little too late. And, the answers that we're getting are still very generic. They can't do a lot. And they said we'll have more information in the coming weeks. They are hiring a third party outside of the district company to investigate, but it can take up until possibly the end of the school year to get answers, which is unacceptable. People within the school need to be held accountable, whether that's placed on leave without pay. I don't know, but somebody needs to be held accountable because an innocent little girl was attacked and scarred for life, and our students were traumatized.
All right, let's break down. Let's go back to now. What was the motivation of this student to come up with a list and do all this? Just gut instinct that we don't know. Did he feel they were being harassed, they're teased? I'm talking about the attacker.
No idea. Yeah, the attacker. I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't personally know what led the attacker to this. All that I know from, doing my own personal parental investigation and speaking with other parents and people within the district that are not to be named. This child has been a problem since second grade with violent histories and just probably shouldn't have been allowed to attend school. I don't know why they were transferred to our school. That's still a mystery to us. And we're not getting answers, and that's what we're calling for. We're calling
Well,
for some
and Stephanie, how does all this evidence, at least mounting it appears to be, Delaware Valley Journal, they're good journalists, Linda over there. I saw another interview with a mom who looked at a yearbook picture, and the child was transitioning, apparently. What's your sense of how the transgender part either plays into the attack or plays into the dragging of feet here, not to say anything?
Yeah, I really don't know much on that.
Okay.
So I can't comment on that. I can comment on the fact that, like, we just want this school district held accountable and we want answers. And, moving forward, if apparently whatever policy they have in place for safety is not good enough and that needs to be revised, then people need to step down if they can't do their jobs correctly to protect our students.
Well, but let me just not push back, but just say to you, though, that's why I asked the transgender thing. They did hold the student in the office. They also did send to lunch with an aide for that protection. Now, it didn't work, true. I would be asking, well, why? Why does this person get this type of pass based upon the facts as we know them, Stephanie? And I think you agree. They shouldn't have been in school.
No, they shouldn't have been in school 100%. They should, with the threats that were made in the short 2 days before the attack, they should have been in an out of school suspension.
So, go ahead, Stephanie.
I don't know why they got a pass. I really don't. Your guess is as good as mine. I really have no idea, and I would like those answers too, and we're just not getting them.
Was your daughter, you have a seventh grader, right? Was she in the lunchroom during that time?
Yes, she was. She called me hysterical, crying, "Mom, help. I'm scared. There's blood everywhere." And the phone went dead on me. And because she hung up on me, because she was being told to hang up by the teachers, not to call your parents. Don't call your parents, they were telling students. And kids were still texting and calling their parents. Of course, I started flying there immediately. I happened to be on my lunch break, which was right down the road. And I flew there, got there as fast as I could, and found out that, what the real situation was. And I pulled my daughter out. But yeah, like, she didn't actually witness the attack firsthand because she was a few tables away, but she heard the hits with the Stanley because it was very loud. And she's seen the blood on the floor. She's seen the victim bleeding, being ushered out of the lunchroom. When I picked her up, she saw the victim again, getting ready to be transported by ambulance. And she was like, just pretty bloody. So, for a child, that's very upsetting to see,
Yeah.
And I can imagine what it feels like to be that poor girl or her family, it's like heartbreaking.
Without a doubt. I mean, I think the other person could have been charged even more. So, Stephanie, you've met with the superintendent. You've told us about that. What's next here in the near future? Do you wait for a report, or is there something else?
We have another school board meeting coming up on the 14th of May.
Okay.
That we're going to attend, and hopefully he said he might be able to give us more answers then. So we have to right now wait. Honestly, I was considering trying to stage a walkout for the students to make a stand. Right now, everything's up in the air. It's just been such a crazy week. It's just like, I don't know. I just feel just numb from all of this. It's just been so unreal. You don't ever want to get that phone call from your kid, and then, not getting accountability just makes it worse. What kind of message does it send to our kids,
Well, look, and we realize I'm a former teacher before I started doing this years ago, Stephanie, and there are restrictions they have, but they pale in comparison to giving some straightforward answers here in this situation. Like, How in the world did somebody come in there in 2 days and already have a hit list? That's indicative, it seems to me, of what happened in the other school setting. That's pretty quick to develop this sort of attack just in a couple of days.
Yeah, it is. And again, like I said, from my knowledge and what I've come to understand, that this is a problem throughout their years in school.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, Stephanie, thank you. And I know, again, how traumatic that's got to be as a parent. Your daughter
Awful.
tells you that, and then they have to hang up, and you're flying over there. My God, blood
Yeah, her
everywhere. Yeah,
slogan today was violence equals no silence.
yeah, absolutely. Well, Stephanie, thank you. You please stay in touch with Dan. If there's any update on anything you want to say, we're open to hear that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to interview me.
Thank you. Thanks, Stephanie, very much. We appreciate you coming on here. Thanks, Dan, for getting her on. All right, couple of new things there, Dan. So she says they were told that the student was kept in an office due to this potential violence issue, then set with an aide to go to the cafeteria. Now, I don't know if they knew the targets were there. God only knows in a situation like this. The aide's there, and they still can't prevent the other child from being attacked like this. I think, and I ask you, Dan, it's becoming clear to me there's some element here with the transgender thing. In addition to all the other stuff that went on, I don't see that there wouldn't be a mechanism to get that school on homebound instruction or something, Zoom or whatever. That there's some other issue they're afraid of here. And the issue people ought to be told about, why was this student, after a violent attack, why was the student sent from one school to here? You have a right to know about that. The right to keep privacy on that has to give way after you attack in this manner. Dan, do you think the transgender has anything to do with it?
Yeah, and it's weird to me that we still continue to step around the issue and just
Right.
directly going at it, because if that is indeed why the school
Right.
leadership chose to turn a blind eye, that answer needs to be out there.
Yeah,
Like it needs to be
exactly.
directly addressed, whether it's affirmative or not. I mean, why aren't there answers as to
Right.
whether the student's gender identity had any play into this situation?
And when there's not, then it leads us to believe that it is, that's part of this. In my year, doing that to a cafeteria and all that, with an aide there, wow. This has to be a pretty violent person that the aide, I don't know, was doing what, that they could not stop them in some way, shape, or form from just attacking this other kid. At least a struggle, then the other kid gets away. Wow. All right, we'll get your reaction in a moment at 855-839-1210. You get in. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. We'll get you on board. But right now, it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
That's right. Today, we're playing for a 4-pack of tickets to see the Reading Phillies versus the Bowie Bay Sox at First Energy Stadium in Reading, Pennsylvania on Fight Cancer Night. Wednesday, June 26th, Phillies legend Charlie Manuel will host a free photo session during the game. Nothing better than Charlie Manuel. Backstory today, Dan.
Yeah, Dom, you would think I'd like this band, but I've never gotten this entire genre of music, and I think you can concur on this one as well. I'm into heavy metal, but I've never been into this genre, and today, Dom, we're going to look for the name of one of the all-time leaders of the genre. I want to know the name of the band covering a very popular song here, Dom. And it's because it ties into our side question being something that people only pretend to like. And I think people pretend to like this music because there's a whole style behind it and they want to feel cool. But Dom, it's a punk legend today. We want to know who the cover artist is. Take a listen.
Someone told me long ago, it's a common for the song. I know it's been coming for some time. When it's over, so they say it will rain a sunny day. I know, shining down like water. I wanna know.
You're a fan of punk music?
No.
I never
Surprise,
counted it.
surprise. All right. It is with that.
Looking for the name of the band, Dom.
The name of the band is simple, and you're off to meet Charlie Manuel in the great game, 855-839-1210. Give me your reaction, too. Thanks to Stephanie for coming on. And if this story is just, the restrictions at school are under without any transgender stuff, I'll be very surprised. Put in an office, sent with an aide, and still we have a catastrophe. Should have been out of school. It's a pretty obvious thing. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in right now.
Rich Zioli.
Well, Mr. President, you got a lot of support in Pennsylvania, tremendous support. I've never seen it this big before, honestly. And I know the primary, I know you wish you could be with us, but I just want you to know that the people of Pennsylvania are with you. This is unconscionable what they're doing to you, but we're with you.
You've been so great, and I appreciate it. And get everybody out to vote. They got to get out to vote. We just want to send a signal because I really believe that November 5th, that's Election Day, it will be the most important period, most important day in the history of our country.
Rich Zioli, weekday afternoons, 3 to 7. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
Are you concerned about your child struggling in school? Do they need more of a challenge? Now's the time to make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2 to 1, allowing for students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social, and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, I got a question for you. You hate bending over to put on your shoes? Wish you should just put them on standing or sitting without ever having to touch them? If so, then I have the shoe for you. Introducing new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins. With new Skechers Slip-ins, you just step in and off you go. You don't even need to lace up. So how does Skechers Slip-ins work? Well, there's a special smooth comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide right into place. So just step in them and go. Find new hands-free Skechers Slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Baseball is back, basketball is heating up, and the NFL Draft is right around the corner. Listen to the latest on the teams you love with the free Odyssey app. The biggest sports radio stations in the country, providing unrivaled local coverage of their teams, all in one place. Exclusive interviews with players, coaches, and team executives, streaming live and always available on demand. Stay in the know with your favorite teams with Odyssey. AUDACY. Download the free Odyssey app today. Free speech lives here.
The Dom Giordano program.
On Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's exactly right. Dan cooks us up every day at about 2:13. Then we'll take your calls on this North Penn thing, which gets even wilder based upon that parent who has spoken with the superintendent. All right, Dan, let's hear the clue.
Someone told me long ago It's a coming for the storm. I know it's been coming for some time.
All right, we're looking for the name of the band. Name of the band. Let's go to Mike in Bridgeton. Mike, what's the name of the band? Mike, are you there? Hi, Mike.
The Ramones.
All right, Dan. Ramones, pretty big band. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next to nothing about. I know the name.
Nobody actually likes the Ramones. Come at me, YouTubers, because
Yeah.
YouTube.com, we got a bunch of punk fans there. But I don't know.
Okay.
Like, there's wrestlers that still go with the punk motif, and there's
Right.
teenagers that follow it. I never got it, and I always thought it was just a way to be different and look cool. And I don't know if anyone's actually
Possible.
sitting there enjoying punk music. Well, I'm going to
All
have a
right.
lot of Joey Ramone fans coming from the neck now.
Nicely played of how you put together everything here today. All right, so it's 855-839-1210. Mike has gone off. See Charlie Manuel, among other things. Your reaction to the mom we had on. The other raging story out there today, let's talk the judge, Trump, and the gag order. Do I think the judge is going to send Trump to jail? No. I think if he did, that would be even more of a surge of support. Certainly not for 30 days. I think you're going to see more explicit warning potentially on this rather than Trump actually being sent back to jail. In other words, they duked it out a lot today over reposting stuff, some of the parameters. Now, having President Trump restrain himself on this, we had O'Reilly on. He talked about he could have a spokesperson read it. This is going to continue to go back and forth. And it has to be galling. Stormy Daniels, key witness, can do a documentary. She is on this. Michael Cohen continue to bloviate all over the place. So if you're on trial for your liberty, why can't you respond to this? This isn't Trump going after some juror in a back way and intimidation or anything. It is a candidate for president. This has political implications. So he's holding off on the gag order ruling for now. How long? I'm not sure. Maybe not for a while. All right. There's still going to be push-pull every day on this, but I don't think we're going to get anything like that for a while. We heard the mom here, though, close to home, a story that is hard to believe given the new thing she said, that this kid, she was told, she led the protest with another mom today, was in an office because of these threats, allegedly. And then you have to take the kid to lunch. Might have been better to bring the lunch there. I know. I don't know why the kid is there. I think there is the ability to take them out of school. I really do. I think they're afraid of the big thing we've all been speculating about. They take him there, even with an aide who walks the kid there, according to this. How in the world, when this kid is notorious, apparently, and an aide, does he sneak up on this other kid and hit him in the head to the degree you heard about all the blood and everything else? I'm sure there's probably footage of this. We'll see. But immediately people think, come on, we're tired of this nonsense. How in the world can a school be so hamstrung? This is what they have to come up with. Does that seem logical? We all know about restrictions. I don't see this, though, as something you couldn't have dealt with more severely and should have. And I'm not sure who the aide was, why the aide could not intervene enough that this guy doesn't get a clear shot. Let's go to Greg in Bucks County. And Greg, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Greg, afternoon to you.
Hey, how are you? Good afternoon. I have to say, these poor children are going through this. This is the left cornering us at every chance. We say, no, we don't want it. They keep doing it, and they keep throwing it in our faces. And unfortunately, our children are having to pay the price. They're afraid to speak out. We're afraid to speak out. Why? Because the school boards and everybody associated with it is just jamming it down our throats. Our children don't have a choice to be but subject to this. Was this kid on hormone therapies? What has created the condition for this kid to act out like this?
Right, and I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm sure you are too, Greg, of hearing, well, the investigation is underway. Look, investigations don't take 6 months in this. It ought to be a matter of urgency. I give them 48 hours. Within 48 hours, parents want to know why transfer from one school to another. And to your point, were there hormones? Was there something like this? Why, if the kid was thought to be this violent and kept out of class, do you send him to the cafeteria, even with an aide? None of this adds up that they're that hamstrung legally. They were making decisions within the legal obligations.
There's no question about it. They were absolutely all aware of what was going on, and they were aware of what the possible consequences were for this. And the sad part is us as parents have to stand up. We have to stop this. We have to stop allowing them to push this stuff down our throat. One other point, Tom, on the Trump thing, this is another left thing again. They're going to ram it down our throat. They're going to take his free speech rights away. That everybody else can talk, but he can't say a word. I'm not necessarily a giant Trump fan, but at the end of the day, you know who I'm voting for? This has got to stop. Political persecutions. Now we have to endure this. Why? Because they won't let it go. Because we're always forced into a corner. This is what they want. This is how the Saul Alinsky way. Force it down our throats.
Thank you very much. Dan, you started in talk radio. You've been in AC, but he mentioned Saul Alinsky there. I got to go back to that. That was all the rage. You have a lot of Saul Alinsky knowledge?
Not much, no. I know the name and I know what yeah.
He was a genius on the other side of disruption. You want to disrupt, people at a school board meeting, whatever, to get 100 people and they'd all be eating baked beans for hours to go in. I mean, stuff like this. I mean, he just was a Machiavellian figure of the highest order.
He was like a radical leftist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I give him his due. He wasn't a crackpot as far as tactically and what you do. And Obama was a community organizer, apparently, we're both in Chicago, studied under Alinsky. He's right. These are the tactics. And we hear this all the time. Well, I'm still waiting on Kevin Boyle, and I'm sourced up, Dan. You know who I'm probably talking about, told me yesterday, I'll tell you off air, that he stands by, even as I'm talking to him as the news conference I'm watching of Krasner and the police chief, and saying, our guys are saying there is never even any arrest warrant here. We don't know what's going on. And then the police look bad with Kevin Boyle. And the Inquirer, it's just Dan and me. The Inquirer has 200 or 300 people there. Put a couple of them on.
Oh.
Why did Kevin Boyle get away with this? Or did he not do anything that was under a protection order now? And Democrats dreamed this up to take him out. Which one is it? That's what I think happened. Do I hope Kevin Boyle wins the primary? Yeah, some part of me says yes, Dan. Because then he's a wild card. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, man, if Kevin Boyle, let's say tomorrow morning we woke up and he is the Democrat in Northeast Philadelphia. Dan and I were at that sad night for Sean, right, over at 5 Points. And what do they turn around and do in the special election? They voted for another one of those Democrats. I don't know. They tagged in one of them who didn't have enough petitions and put his brother in there. And these goofy people in Northeast Philadelphia said, what the hell? Let's vote for another Democrat. Are they going to vote for another Doherty here? Or another Boyle?
How many Dohertys are there, Don?
Right. How many Boyles are there,
How many
too?
Boyles, too?
Yes. I'd rather see Kevin Boyle in there. Maybe the Republican, and I think it's a pretty good race on the Republican side, could win.
What a horrible option. Between
everybody talking about Sean, 14-year-old killed with the water, you may remember. The dad, what a hero to speak out about this, right? Yeah. The tragedy. And then they just turn around and vote for another Democrat in the special election shortly thereafter. What is wrong with these people? And look, I get it if it were in various sections of Philadelphia, like where the progressives really are, right? But why in Northeast Philadelphia? Haven't you seen what's happened here? Fox All Day is running stories about how blue cities, Washington, just passed pretty severe laws around drug-free zones. Now, I know the drug-free zones, but they're moving towards saying this can't continue to go on. In Philadelphia, we have Sherelle Parker, but guess what? Who do we have? Larry Krasner. When is there going to be a confrontation with this guy? He's in the middle yesterday. He says, hey, forget about that arrest stuff with Kevin Boyle. He doesn't say there never was one or there was one. He just says, I'm not dealing with that now. And that's it. Northeast Philadelphia, you have a chance when we get to the general election. Do you want another Democrat stooge in there, be a Boyle or a Doherty? How much of this do you want? Why do you do this? Well, you know, those two Republicans running, they're going to take away my abortion rights. Is that it? Is it abortion again in Northeast Philadelphia? Castor and Cotman, I want to get an abortion. Yeah, you might get shot, mugged, Krasner, 14-year-old killed. Well, I can live with that as long as I know we can have reproductive freedom, Dan. As long as I have that, I don't care how they ravage Northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Don't you wake up? We had O'Reilly on today, and he said his book, the upcoming one, is about the presidents. By the way, he rated Biden the second worst ever. He still had Buchanan there. If I were advising him, I said, Bill, go for it. Come on, go with Biden as the worst ever. Did the president hurt or help the country? Here'd be my question. Let's take Northeast Philadelphia as an example. It used to be Mayfair, quintessential middle class. And as you moved up the boulevard, you were moving up a bit, a hair here and there, I'd say. Did Democrats hurt or help Northeast Philadelphia? In the far Northeast, the vote is clearly they killed it. And that's why Martina White can be in office for life there, I think. What's wrong with the rest of these people? 855-839-1210. And don't tell me it's just people, newcomers and all that. There's still other people. They're going to vote for Democrats.
I did get word that Jimmy Dillon signs are all over the Northeast.
That's right, Jimmy Dillon. Which Dillon is that? Is that the Dillon they tagged in, or the Dillon?
Jimmy's the tag partner that was tagged into the fight.
When it was Sean Dillon, I guess.
Sean Dillon dove across the ring for a hot tag and brought in his brother Jimmy.
Tagged him in. Doherty's are tagging in a guy. The Boyle's got a guy there. Is there no other ethnic group, by the way, in Northeast Philadelphia? There's no Italians or Borowskis running?
No.
Is it just the Irish? Is it the Irish politician
There are no
base?
Polish people in Northeast Philadelphia.
I mean, Bob Brady and I get along, but my God, how many of these guys do you need? The biggest Italian in Philadelphia is Squilla now. And only, Dan, because he'll decide on whether they do the arena there. I'd place that at about 99.894 to nothing that they won't do the arena there.
They will.
They will.
It's going to look great.
All right, 855-839-1210.
I'm getting lambasted after your hair left the spotlight. Apparently,
now it's the Ramones.
Yeah, now it's Wes on youtube.com/@12WPHT says, Dan, I'm sorry, but you are a lame dude. Says, first, you don't like the Ramones, and also this week you say you get your groceries delivered.
Well, thanks for taking. Oh, that's right. I didn't forget.
I don't get them delivered. I go and pick them up, and they bring it out to my car.
Oh, God. That is just that. I can't have anybody bring my groceries out for me. I feel bad for the person.
It saves so much time.
No.
You just pull up, you give a little number, they give you a code. And
no, Ro and I, like the other night, if the server is trying to take our plate, I feel bad. I try to help them take the plate. Or Ro, it looks like you got a little smudge in that white tablecloth. Come on, shape up over there.
Oh, come on. Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to have a clean tablecloth.
I'm a dirty eater, man.
That's it. No more dinners for you. Nothing happening at Mulligan's for you if we do go down the shore soon. We're already plotting that Trump Day. It's going to be big. Behind the scenes, there'll be more. Hey, the road to the NBA Finals starts now, and new customers on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino can get in on their own playoff run with $150. Just place any $5 bet. You get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose, to use during the NBA playoffs. I'm still picking the Sixers, and Dan, they're favored by what on FanDuel?
Oh, I don't have it. I think it was 4.5.
4.5. I take the Sixers on Thursday night.
And 204 over under.
I'm taking the over, and I'm taking Embiid over 30 points, if that's what the over under is. And that's rare for me.
His points, 31.5.
Whether or not Nick Nurse will be able to call a timeout and they'll recognize him, I can't say yet.
That's a good point.
Just go to FanDuel.com/Dom, D-O-M, to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Clouds will roll in this evening and overnight, maybe even a few showers. Tomorrow, high of 68. A little bit of rain is possible. Thursday, 62, but the sunshine is back. Friday, even warmer in the sunshine, high of 65. Saturday, 64. And Sunday, 80 degrees.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It seems like just yesterday when I captured my son's first steps or when we recorded his soccer games on VHS tapes. Those moments are gone. But the old home movies and pictures don't need to be. That's why my son created Legacy Box.
That's right, Mom. Over 1 million families have used Legacy Box to digitally preserve their old home movies and photos.
Simply fill Legacy Box with your old camcorder tapes, film, and photos. They will professionally digitize and send them back on DVDs, thumb drive, or the cloud.
With Mother's Day around the corner, it's the perfect time to get your Legacy Box and save your family's history. After all, few things are as important as protecting your precious memories. Give your mom a Mother's Day present she'll never forget. Legacy Box is offering a 60% discount. Order yours today and take advantage of our best Mother's Day sale ever. Visit legacybox.com/value and for a limited time, get an incredible 60% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value for 60% off. legacybox.com/value.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. Each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Oh, yeah. All you griddle gurus best get your game faces on because it's gorilla season at Gerhardt's. And that means all systems go for great deals on the latest grills that'll sizzle your grizzle off. Whether you're a tong man or spatula lady, Gerhardt's Appliances has all the propane-powered patio powerhouses to turn that frozen filet mignon into a fire-grilled filet mignon.
Hi, Stephanie from Emmons. Are you not loving your bathroom? Is the King's Throne looking a little outdated and run down? Let Emmons Design Specialists design a bathroom that you will love and one that Emmons will redo in as little as 1 day. An affordable, maintenance-free bathroom with little to no inconvenience to you and your family. With finance options available, there's really only one problem. Your bathroom will be so nice, your king may never want to come out. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on our website at callemmons.com.
For over a decade, NJ Diet has helped thousands of people lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. That's nearly twice as fast as weight loss injections and without any of those nasty side effects. NJ Diet uses your hair and saliva along with scans to personalize natural solutions and supplements to get you to shed that fat quickly. Then, NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep the weight off. Call 855-5NJ-DIET or go to njdiet.com. Get slimmer before the summer with njdiet.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com. Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano show. I won't say any more details on this, but it's almost like a sacred duty. Dan was telling me about a trial. When we get closer to this, that someone wants us there with them. I'll tell you more once we get closer to it. And, of course, we would do that. The all-time time, Dan, that I was invited sort of as a communications expert to the trial of Joey Vento. I wish we had more social media and coverage then.
Did you get a cheesesteak?
I've never seen anything like the testimony, Dan. This one woman who was an expert, paid a lot of money, said, well, Your Honor, I'm not answering any more questions. I got to go now. I have childcare issues. And the attorneys on Joey Vento's side said, you got to stay here. You've been sworn in. Strike all of her testimony then. It was held over at the Arch Street Friends Center. Joey Vento got roses and women kissing him as he came in. There was applause, Dan. There were protesters.
What was he being charged with?
Human Relations Committee violations because of the sign.
To become legal, you got to learn the English because you come here for the opportunity for economical reasons. If you don't speak English, you're never, ever going to accomplish that.
I would tell you, I've interviewed a lot of characters. Philadelphia, thank God, is a city of characters. It's not like Phoenix or these, fly-by-night cities. I find it hard to believe. I don't even know if Rizzo is a character. He's a bigger-than-life character. But Joey Vento once got fined by the people out to get him for having too much jewelry as he cooked steaks. That was a fine. Can you
You're
imagine?
a crumb creep, lush coward.
Those are the two of the top 10 all-time characters.
You're going to have a hell of a story on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Someday I might do the top 10. Irv Homer, I think, would be in there. Dr. Jim Corey. Those are just a few of this is a town that does breed characters.
You're a coward. You're a crumb creep.
If Kevin Boyle gets a nomination, I'd have to put him in there. A couple days ago, he's on the run. Most wanted. Now he's the Democrat nominee. It kind of fits, right?
I know a lush when I see one, and you're a lush.
The guy, Stan Borman, it's one thing to call him a coward, Dan. How does Rizzo know he's a lush?
Get away from me, you creep.
Based on what? His nose, his reporting. And I like the fact he says, I'm going to put my dog inside, then I'm going to fight you. I'm going to fight both of you.
I'll take all three of yours on physically. That's what I'll do. I'll take his all on physically.
Take that thing out. Unhook it.
I'll throw it out in the middle of the street.
You turn that off.
And he had the hat on because it was cold with it. So Joey Vento, though, was every bit in that league. I've never seen. Imagine Joey Vento on the BBC, the British proper. I was there as this was going on, and he's doing an interview on the BBC. All right, let's take some callers here. What is it that is essentially people are pretending they like? This coming off Shakespeare Today.
Let me tell you something.
All right. Let's go to Joe in Exton. All right, Joe. Let Dan have it. Tell him how great Shakespeare is.
Hello, Don.
Hi,
Good
Joe.
afternoon. I have a answer and comment. Local unions claim approval for Joe Biden. Publicly, they do. Yet in private, they express support for Donald Trump.
True notion.
Now, pardon?
No, I'm just endorsing what you're saying. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Now, a comment. Shakespeare's writings are an assessment of the varieties of human nature. Human nature in 2024 is the same as it was in 1590. All that glitters is not gold. You have to stop and look behind the glamour and glitz of the never-ending aspects of social behavior.
Well put, Joe.
All right, Joe, complete candid, be completely truthful. When was the last time you sat down with a piece of paper that had any Shakespeare's writings on it?
Well, I've been meaning to do a rereading of his works. I read Shakespeare in high school, but I've been prompted to go back and reread his works.
Thank you, Joe.
I want to hear an assessment when he gets it.
Well, right. You know what? I'm going to go and read some Shakespeare tonight. I would encourage everyone just to we'll have a mock Dan day tomorrow. Reread a little bit of Shakespeare and then call in. I'm making a note right here. I'm getting a note right here on the official show sheet and call in. And you're on your honor system. Don't have it in front of you. Give us a couple of lines you memorized of Shakespeare.
No one knows memorized lines of Shakespeare
Oh,
besides
yes,
like to
they
be or
do.
not to be. That is the question.
Somebody call in right now and prove Dan wrong. You're not looking at it. You have it because you wouldn't have Shakespeare handy there. It's not on your phone. Hit us with a line proving him wrong.
No.
that you do memorize this. And by the way, if you ran into somebody who didn't know a line of Shakespeare, you would think lesser of them. Let's say that. So if you run into Dan, hit him with some
That's what
Shakespeare.
I mean. Is people like memorize 3 lines just so they can act like they know Shakespeare and act like they like the guy. And like, Dom, when was the last time, be completely honest, that you sat down, it's not been since high school, that you've read any text of Shakespeare?
No, that's not true. College, and I would say...
Oh, come on. College, where you put down the beers with your buddies to go read some Shakespeare on your Saturday night? No.
Oh, yeah. Saturday night reading of Shakespeare. I was just talking to Ro the other day about Hamlet. No, Macbeth. Out, damn spot. And Ro immediately went. She has a Shakespeare book in the bookcase, right? Giant Shakespeare book.
Went and grabbed the
from
book.
LaSalle.
Go for a reference.
Somebody call in right now, and let's put a stop to this crumb bum here. He's a lush. He doesn't like Shakespeare. He doesn't like Shakespeare reading.
You turn that off.
What would Rizzo and Joey Vento say about Shakespeare?
You are a lush. I can tell by looking at you.
855-839-1210. Hit us. Lightning round is next here on Talk Radio 1210.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Do you want more control over your business spending? Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management platform designed to save you time and money. Ramp offers unlimited corporate cards with spend controls you can customize to stop wasteful spending before it happens. Ramp makes expense reports a breeze by automatically collecting receipts and matching them to the right transaction. You'll close your books in hours instead of days. Ramp allows you to see all your company spend in one place, so you can make quick, informed decisions about your business finances. Plus, Ramp will share insights based on your spending to help you cut costs. Over 15,000 businesses have added up to 5% to their bottom line with Ramp. You can be one of them. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/250. Ramp.com/250. RAMP.com/250.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra on a tribute to Philly sports fans at Wildwood Catholic Academy in North Wildwood and at the Ocean City Music Pier in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Alan Iverson, Cole Hamels, Joel Embiid.
My dad set this up. This was actually a gift to us to bring us all together, come see Joe and relive all the Philadelphia history. Come see it. It's amazing.
That's Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood Catholic on June 29th and the Boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey on July 13th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com.
So many financial firms claim to be fiduciaries, but do any of them provide legally binding documentation to put your best interests first? Crash Proof Retirement is the only firm in the nation that records all financial meetings, making your meeting legally binding.
Lou Marinucci, Langhorne, Pennsylvania. When the market goes down and then Wall Street still makes money, they're looking out for themselves more than they're looking out for you as the client. It's not a fiduciary responsibility. I don't have that problem here with Crash Proof Retirement. Crash Proof Retirement can assure their customers that they will come out on the positive side because by recording their meetings, it makes them legally bound to do exactly what they say. And that's what a fiduciary is supposed to do.
Learn why recording financial meetings guarantees peace of mind. Register for one of the Crash Proof events on May 15th at the Washington Crossing Inn. Choose either the 11 a.m. or 5 p.m. event. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Switch to eco-friendly cleaning products and spend more time outside to make every day Earth Day. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Don't miss Good News in Real Estate with Deanne Katsaros and Mark Cumberland, Saturdays at 1 p.m. Find out all you need to know about home buying and selling. Considering a career in real estate? Visit PhiladelphiaRealEstateClasses.com. Good News in Real Estate, Saturdays 1 p.m. on WPHT.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
La 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 la.
Oops. Ever had your singing lessons cut short by icy water?
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
Say goodbye to those cold notes with Navien tankless water heaters. With Navien, you'll hit all the right notes without the surprise chill. So keep singing and let Navien keep the hot water flowing. And get ready for the encore when you get your utility bill. Navien tankless water heaters. Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Free speech lives here on the air and on the Odyssey app. Talk Radio 1210. WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That's right. Be ready. But first, Dan, Steve in Pennsylvania's got a quote for you. Thank you, Steve. Public service. Rebuke Dan. Go right ahead.
Yeah, the line to thine own self be true, I always liked. And one of my favorite Steve Martin movies, L.A. Story, he does allusions to Hamlet, even does the gravedigger scene. And I thought it was really funny because it's a really funny comedy. And probably a lot of people didn't realize that he had these references in there that were right out of Hamlet.
All right, Dan, what do you say to Steve? There you go.
No, okay. Yeah, I get it, Steve. Like, there's some that persist even through themes like today in fiction. So I get that. But I feel like I couldn't play it better. Steve, it's almost like you have a little tinge of a Southern accent giving us a Shakespeare quote. That's
funny. Well, I have relatives from the South, but I grew up in Northeast Philly, and some people don't believe me.
All right, thank you, Steve. Thanks for taking one for the team here. Tomorrow, call in throughout the show. Let me take one more. Gary in Newtown. All right, Gary, what's yours today?
Before I go there, I want to say, Dan, you really messed up when I had a call because of the bagpipes. One of the best songs on the planet is AC/DC's "It's a Long Way to the Top" if you want to rock and roll. So I don't know.
Wait, I said I like the bagpipes is what I said. I just said you got to take it in moderation.
All right, then I misheard you. I'm so sorry.
What's yours, Gary?
I'm going to go with if you haven't been to the Grand Canyon, then you don't understand it. But if you go show pictures of your vacation and it has the Grand Canyon in it, and you want everybody to be as overwhelmed as you are, it doesn't work. Nobody likes your vacation pictures.
Gotcha. I asked, well, can we drive around the Grand Canyon? And I think they said it was hundreds of miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan,
tough.
Give us a couple here.
I think there's one that stands ahead of it. I'm not saying it because I endorse it or I agree with it. It led to so much fun today on today's show. It's Jerry and Elmer saying Dom's hair. Dom's hair's got to win the day.
So self-deprecating, letting a guy get it. Yeah, we can go with that. All right, now don't try that tomorrow. Don't start with the height or something like that.
By the way, so many people calling in with Shakespeare quotes.
Tomorrow, Dan.
Everybody's been calling in.
Dan faces the executioner tomorrow on that. Drop in those quotes. Leslie, particularly. Rich Cioli next after having a great interview with President Trump yesterday. Rich next on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Do you have a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more that you don't need? Well, don't lapse or surrender your policy. You might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premiums, even a term policy. Call Coventry Direct at 800-411-8300 or visit coventrydirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-411-8300. For over